circuit. That's you could see the size of the curve there, but we're about to get back underway. The driver, no, we're not back. See, the drivers knew. The drivers knew that that there was a problem with turning it off and on with the computers, and they didn't race because they didn't want anyone to miss the action. That's what it was. That's what it was. Harrison Whitcomb, he's a good Welsh lad, yes, right? You know, his family, his mum Donna, you know, they're really good friends of Alpha, and they knew. There was a call went out. Harrison, slow down, but you know, there's a bit of a problem here. We want to get all the racing in on camera, so we slowed down. There's been a problem. Hopefully, and we're going to go racing again very shortly, with probably about 3 minutes plus a lap to go.
In the early stages of that one, before the Battenberg flag came out, it was a good start for Brandon Truman. Gained 6 spots from where the Thule Motorsport driver began this race. Victor Hansen as well for Strawberry Racing up into the top 10. I
mean, Brandon Truman, now, does Uncle Tyrone continue into this new generation? You hope so. I'm sure that Uncle Tyrone does continue in this the new look, the new generation. I mean, I'm the only old so-and-so left now.
I've heard a lot about Uncle Tyrone from Anthony Jordan, who does send his regards, everybody.
I tell him I don't send mine. No, I'm joking, mate. I'm joking. Okay, here we go. We'll make fun of Anthony Jordan later on. Here we go. It's going to be Harrison Whitcomb, Lewis Goff, Harry Freeman, Josh Turnbull and Charlie Lee, the top 5. Here we go. Lights are still not green. No, they're not. I was getting all anticipated again. Now there's a medical team. It's the exit of
the Crook.
The Crook. So you got Oblivion, Crook, Fine Lady, once, twice, 3 times, Fine Lady, up to Christmas, and that was Christmas Comedy, because I got singing. You know, Anthony would never let me sing. Then you go out of Christmas, then you go through Ashby's, Inkermans, then down the hill towards Ashby's. Which is a really horrible corner to drive. It's downhill, off camber, hard on the brakes, it tightens on the exit. I mean, it's a really challenging corner, but as a driver,
it's what you were saying earlier about every corner having its own characteristics.
Yes.
You look at it from a track map, it's 2 hairpins at Christmas in Ashby. They are completely different, but for the simple reason going up the hill and then down.
And now we're into, that's Wilkins and Chapman's.
That's the old name.
That's the old name. Oh, there was Zulu was to be the old name. That was the. I got a T-shirt. We're talking about. I got a T-shirt. I won a race here in 1999. And it was the old circuit, and I've still got the T-shirt. It shrunk a bit in the wash. Still no racing, so we're still going to slow. This could be a slow race. Harrison Whitcomb could be the easiest win he's ever had. Wonder what Nicole Sutherland's question is going to be. So Harrison, how was the tyre saving that you managed to do whilst driving at 7 miles an hour?
What it does show. Yes. How important qualifying is in this kind of format.
Well, because you get short heats, and if you're someone down at the, if you're someone like Jack Thompson, qualified 21st, he's still running 21st. He's had no opportunity to gain ground. So that one, whether he missed the setup or whether it's just overall pace. But yeah, Harrison, I mean, it would be somewhat cruelly ironic if they give the green flag on the final lap and there's the number 16 Kart has Matteo Palazzo from Saltire Motorsport. Good to see that Saltire team name. Duncan White, his crew back in the British paddock, so Matteo, the Scottish team. But it would be somewhat a cruel irony if they I don't want to say it. If they give Harrison Whitcomb the green flag at the start of the last lap, he goes to the Christmas corner and gets hoofed right into the bank. No, I'm joking, it wouldn't happen. Sure.
So round again, are we green? Now we are green. So 2 laps then, 11 seconds on the clock. As we go back to green, there's a problem for one of the Strawberries. Going slowly, I think is that Zach McDonald in the number 80, who's, no, it's the 21. It's the 21 of Victor Hansen, so there has also been a problem for Zach McDonald. 2 of the Strawberries having problem there at the restart of the race down the inside. There is Zach McDonald.
That's on the track. Is that on the exit of the final corner
it is.
As well? Oh, I hope the marshals the marshal here at Whilton Mill, very, very good indeed. Now, on track back, the number 17 Kart, that's Harrison Crowther, back with Coles Racing, running in 7th position and holding up a huge heap of drivers. Look at this. how packed the paddocks are, you know, and the spectator gantry. It's a chock-a-block as the last lap begins.
And a change for the lead. Lewis Goff has gone through past Harrison Whitcomb. Here they are fighting for it once more. Joshua Turnbull just there in third for Evolution Racing as well. Going through increments now, down towards the braking zone of Ashby. Goff checks to the inside. No way through there for Whitcomb, but has he gone a bit too deep? No, that's a good recovery from Lewis Goff. Whitcomb's got a reducing number of opportunities to overtake. He's now having to fend off Harry Freeman behind. So apologies, it's Harry Freeman who's come through. He's got past Joshua Turnbull for third place into the new style of the boot for the final time in this one. Lewis Goff should comfortably bring this one home in a disrupted race by that slow period. And through goes Lewis Goff, takes the win, 0 points on his scorecard for the intermediate classification. Harrison Whitcomb, not the win he wanted, Henry, but a good conversion through to a decent result. Yeah,
I mean, he'll be doubly frustrated having, you know, led most of the race, albeit under caution. Now, for all we know, that Harrison's kart, the tyre pressures, the mechanics set the pressures and the setup of the kart to run 8 laps, or how many laps? That was 9 laps, or more in the case of a full speed, at full racing speed. And of course, you know, but Harrison didn't get a chance to do that. But Lewis Goff, Sam Pollitt Racing on top of the finishing order there. Whitcomb second, Harry Freeman, good drive from Harry for Evolution Racing. Josh Turnbull, Charlie Neve has moved from MLC to Strawberry Racing. And Brian and Truman, Harrison Crowther and the rest down there. Hopefully Isabella Stansmore, Wilson and Rory Armstrong. Okay, here we go. Telephone of Doom. Well, Harry Freeman goes through, he's okay. And into the pit lane now over the weigh scales. I try and stay away from them at all costs. And I love this. Oh, and here's someone trudging down there. That's the number 9. Leon Hasty was a bit hasty getting out of his go-kart there. He obviously didn't like it and was not happy. Where did Leon finish? Not surprised Leon didn't like it. He was 15th. That's a poor result for Leon. So he's there's Canada's Ryan Gandour in the number 71. And, it's like the green room in Formula One, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so all we need now is to have, you know, someone to throw a cap at each other, you know. It was cow 12, cow 12. Oh, dear. Uh-oh.
Jacob Woods.
Or is that just he wanted to take a photo of this nice iridium visor with his logo on it?
And the sunglasses.
And sunglasses, of course.
That's the end of this this rotation for Junior Rotax. Next time we'll see them back out. Group C, of course, we haven't seen in this round.
Group C?
So if there is
a Group C race?
Oh, I love a Group
I want to
C
see a
race right
Rothman's Porsche coming down. No, really?
It's Albert C9 as well.
Oh,
so into the
don't start now.
So if there is a Junior Rotax driver you are particularly following and you're going, hang on a minute, I've not seen them out on track, it'll be because they're in Group C.
Yes,
Group C will race.
You can't have them going straight back out, can you? No.
So Group C will go up against Group D at around, or on the schedule, 4:15 this afternoon, and then we'll see Groups A and E out at 16:30. No,
round. It'll
bang
be
on
40. It'll be 16, 15 hours and 0 seconds on the dot. This is the Motorsport UK British Championship. We run things to schedule.
Absolutely. Next out on circuit,
Because you know what? In the Motorsport UK British Championship, lateness is not tolerated.
It's not tolerated at all. Mini Max 950 out next. Groups B and C from the timed qualifying earlier on this morning. So from this afternoon. And another group of drivers heading out on circuit shortly.
But Nicole Sutherland has caught up to a couple of drivers, maybe not so too tired out, but she's with them now.
We're here with race winner Lewis Goff. Lewis, we saw most of the race there under full course yellows. You were in second. Can you just explain a little bit to us about how the race went for you?
Well, it wasn't much interesting since it was Battenberg for most of the race. Then as soon as it went green flag, me and Harrison, we got that gap, he defended, and I just got the switch back. Perfect timing for me, basically, because it was on the penultimate lap. Then I went onto the last lap with a big gap against him, so I just won that heat very, very nice then.
Yeah, that's great. And for some of the audience at home that might not know, earlier on in the year you auditioned for the FIA Academy Championship. Can you just tell us a little bit about what you learnt from that and what you're going to do with that learning for this year?
Well, it was all about fitness and how strong you are and how you could be in the kart as well, doing a test around here in the OKJ, what was very good, and with that it just, since I didn't win it, but it just gave me that extra confident boost to push even harder.
That's fantastic, Lewis. Thanks very much. And we'll go back to the commentary box, Henry and Andrew.
Thank you very much, Nicole Sutherland down there in the paddock. Well, we mentioned the FIA Academy. The representative for 2024 starts in this one. Remember, this is Groups B and C heading out on circuit. So Finley Lines does not take part in this race, but on pole position for this one, Edward Haynes and, as mentioned, Cian Bernard, 2024 FIA Academy representative for the United Kingdom. Albert Friend and Jack Collinson start on row 2 for this first Minimax 950 race of the weekend. Tom Reed and Emerson McAndrew-Uren, the reigning champion from Micromax, are on row 3.
Spencer, King, Hines, Ambrose, Cleary and Cormac here top 12. Hasnain Khan, Harry Taylor, Alex Goodson, Theo Bradshaw and the rest. Good to see Kieran Stewart back in the... what number is he? He's back there in the number 14 kart. Had to break his leg earlier, late last year, but he is back. But here we go. Lights are out. We're off and racing here with a full Minimax grid. 30 drivers in this heat. Oh, and a problem there. Somebody's spinning to the outside in the middle of the pack, but everybody else makes their way up towards Christmas Corner, and it's a great start from Albie Friend. Albie Friend, 3 times a top 10 finisher in the Rotax Grand Finals. He's not got his ticket. He went out to the Rotax Winter Trophy in Florida. It was very, very, very unlucky not to get the championship win there, which would have guaranteed him a ticket to this year's Rotax Grand Finals in Sarno, Italy. But interestingly, of the 3 drivers that raced in Minimax last year that dominated the championship, Friend, Jacob Ashcroft and Cole Denham, Friend is the only one that is not old enough yet to move up.
Yes.
So he, it's going to be a very, very tough year for Albie Friend, because everyone will now expect him to dominate and clean up everything. But of course, that's never going to happen.
And the case is, you've got 9 of the top 10 from Micromax have taken the step up. So there's a particularly strong group coming through.
Yes, and that's the number 19.
That's going to be Collinson. Jack Collinson moving down the order now. There's the number 53 of Harry Taylor, going for a move on Riley Murrow. That is for 7th place.
Again, so many of these micro drivers moving up. It's going to be a very, very packed grid. And of course, just the general nature of Minimax itself means that it's difficult for one driver to pull away. Haynes, Spencer, Friend, Emerson McAndrew-Uren, who went out to race, represented the UK. Oh, there's Emerson going over that curb now. Come on now, because your dad can't afford lots of new chassis. Think of the wallet, Emerson, as he goes across the line. He's got the fastest lap though, so being aggressive does help.
It does indeed, and Emerson showed what he can do in that Micromax category previously as well. 6 minutes to go. Good move there. That's Finley Hines down the inside and gaining another position up to 8th place past Riley Murrow. I'm already getting with Finley's confused, because we've got
Finley Lines and Finley Hines. Yeah. Well, I would say Finley Hines has missed the trick because he's not number 57. He's 57 varieties still.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Poor. I'm still warming up. It's been a long winter. I've been away a lot, and now I've got to get back into the cheap puns.
It's, for Finley Lines.
Yes.
And
He'll be
Sergi
out
Factory
later.
will be out later on. Was the fastest driver in qualifying earlier on this afternoon.
While we're watching that, I just want to pick up one driver down in 20. I met him earlier the first time. Amrit Singh Atwal for Ambition Motorsport. What a lovely young man he is. He shook my hand saying, "It's nice to meet you. You've never met me before. I listen to your commentary all the time. You're not as good as Anthony Jordan, but I still like you." No, no. And he said, "Oh, my name is Amrit Atwal. It's pleased to meet you." I thought, what a lovely young man. You know, that's just great. Anyway, he's running in just outside the top 20 at the moment, and that is in the number 13 kart for the Ambition Motorsport team. So I just thought I'd just say, you know, there he is. And right on cue, it's almost, listen to us, but yeah, Paul Janes has done a great job. Well, I think he's probably a well-mannered young man despite Paul Janes. I'm only joking, mate. I'm only joking. But no, it just goes to show that what we do in karting, Andrew, we do with all the media attention, the cameras, the interviews, you know, we do create young professional athletes, you know, which is great to see. Anyway, back to the racing. Edward Haynes in kart number 46 is still leading.
Is indeed. There's been a change for second place. Albie Friend has got back ahead of Oliver Spencer. Oliver Spencer, who of course took a victory in this meeting last year. That was in the Micromax category, the very first of the 2023.
Yes,
Micromax O-plate for
the
that
curtain raiser.
His friend is off, and he's going to rejoin the circuit, but lose probably about 10 positions with that. That was on the initial, that was on the toe of the boot, which is unchanged from before. And it's all getting a little bit feisty there with the number 55 and others involved as well.
So that is what you call an unintended consequence of the new corner. Somebody comes back on the track and they're slow, they got muck on their tyres, and of course you've got drivers. It's a one-line racetrack, and of course you've got to be aggressive, and that was just a little bit of, bumping and boring, but not really a fault of anybody going through the final corner. It's just, one of those unintended consequences of suddenly having a very slow corner where there was a very fast corner.
It was Ambrose, Murrow and Goodson also involved in the latter stages of that event out there on circuit. 3 minutes to go. Edward Haynes now leading by 1.4 seconds. What have the chasing pack got here? Headed up by Oliver Spencer now, then the 36 of Tom Reed, who's taken that third place away from Emerson McAndrew in the second of the DHRs in that train. Difficult position this now for Edward Haynes. We always say it with the younger categories, as down the inside goes Reed on Spencer, side by side, pot to pot. Oh, that's not a good movement at all for the two DHRs. And Emerson McAndrew gets back on the circuit, but he's going to be down in around 10th places. Out of the race is the number 21 of Josh Cormack and the 91 of Albie Friend.
Yeah, I think Albie Friend's probably thinking, so they're dropping like fries here, but the Falkirk Tyre and Service Centre sponsored driver Josh Cormack. There's Albie Friend, who has a little
trip.
That's the other problem with having cameras everywhere, is they catch drivers falling over. So I hope Albie's okay. I want to say a big hope you're okay as well to Lachlan Johnson. Come all the way down from Scotland. Had a bit of a funny turn yesterday, and has had to go all the way back up to Scotland.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I hope you get well soon, Lachlan. I know his dad, Stuart, is chiming in there, so get well soon, Lachlan. Now, there is the move, number 33. That is... recovering.
He's becoming number 3 now because there's a big, that's a mark on the side of his car.
That's what confussed me. I'm easily confussed, as you'll learn. But it's Haynes, Tom the Farmer Reed, Charlie King, Oliver Spencer, Finley Hines, Harry Taylor, Collinson, Jaime Ambrose, Riley Murrow and Alex Goodson, your top 10. With the several retirements, Leo Livings is up 7 places to 12th. Max Wheatley up 13 places to 16th. And Cian Bernard, we haven't mentioned Cian Bernard much. I mean, he's down to 19th at the moment. So that is not there. Fenton Stoneman, I think, is the half-brother to Dean Stoneman. And that is number 26 kart of Alex Goodson there, just defending his position, going across the top and then down towards Ashby's. Less than a minute to go.
Absolutely. Edward Haynes still in control of this one. McAndrew a little bit wide there, going down through Ashby. I see the one of the Zip Factory team recovering as well. I think that was Benjamin Lawn, the number 85. Looking for good things from Benjamin this weekend. Loves an overtake at any race circuit that he goes to. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. So we're going to get a couple more laps here for this first heat of the weekend for Minimax. Everybody races twice through the heats, remember, before the super heats tomorrow. 5-second penalty on our race control notifications there for number 44, Theo Bradshaw. As that's not good news also for the 53 moving down the order of Harry Taylor, apologies. And shows once again just how important the momentum train is in Minimax. And in fact, that's much more loss of momentum for the number 53 of Taylor. That is Harry out of the race.
And he did not look wonderfully impressed with the that recent turn of events, sadly, as we are now into the closing moments. There's the There's the 42 car. That's Oliver Spencer. Again, has moved teams this year. He was with the Synergy team last year, as I recall. Now with Dan Holland racing, and even with all the chaos that's happening in this race, we have still got 27 drivers running, including my new friend Amrit Atwal in 26th position. So yes, but the final lap, Edward Haynes, 0.6 of a second in front of Tom Reed.
And it's looked pretty comfortable throughout the entirety of this race, and challenged from pole position. Two drivers who started behind him on that grid have fallen by the wayside in this one. Still side by side between Macandrew Uren and the number 38 there, Riley Morrow. Trying to squeeze through there, as well as that Otis Cleary involved in all of that. The checker flag is out. Haynes has taken the first heat of the weekend, followed by Reed, King, Spencer and Hines. Other positions to be decided as they come across the line. Collinson in 6th, Ambrose, Khan, Goodson and Macandrew Uren in the top 10. Good drive there from Riley Morrow as well, up 6 spots to 11th.
Now, while we wait for the full results to come through, in that race, we saw a 5-second penalty, which was dished out to Theo Bradshaw. That's an in-race penalty. We've got a brand new camera angle, a brand new angle to bring you in the camera room. Now, the officials here at the Motorsport UK Wera Tools British Kart Championship have a bank of cameras they watch. There's David Manchester, furthest from the camera, holding the radio. He is studying that screen there. That shows about 15 or 60 different cameras around the circuit. The driver next to him, that's Alfie Garford, former junior TKM British champion, TKM Extreme British champion last year. Yes, Alfie is our driver steward. Because it's all well and good there. We have a panel of stewards and people that are just adjudicate on incidents, but Alfie's a driver. He knows all the tricks in the trade. So he is going to be there helping to decide, look, okay, that's a racing incident. I can see how that happens as a driver, or I know exactly what that driver was doing, and he's advised. But we can bring you deep in, inside the Motorsport UK truck to show how decisions are made during the course of events.
Well, there is your provisional results for the first heat in Minimax. Edward Haynes takes it from Tom Reed, Charlie King, Oliver Spencer, Finley Hines, Jack Collinson, Jaime Ambrose, Hasnain Khan, Alex Goodson, Emerson, Macandrew Uren inside the top 10. Riley Morrow 11th, Otis Cleary, Leo Livings, Keane Bernard and Benjamin Lawn inside the top 15. Max Wheatley, Devin Taylor, Theo Bradshaw, Blair Smith.
Have you got your bleep camera? Because Mark Baines is on camera and Jordan Baines. Have you got the swear bleeper just coming in?
Blair Smith in the 56. Now, we should explain, there are 2 Blair Smiths in Minimax, which is a commentator's nightmare. But Blair Smith in the 56th, privateer, inside the top 20, completed by Louis Radcliffe, Kieran Stewart, Fenton Stoneman, Ollie Thompson,
Connor
Adam
Winfield.
Joditis and Connor J. Winfield all in the top 25.
Wow, not anymore.
Atwal 26th, retirements for Taylor, Burton, Friend and Cormac. Did you spot there?
I saw Connor Winfield getting the mobile phone of doom. Interesting look there. So Devin Taylor coming over from South Africa to race here, and you've got obviously Adam Jordaitis from Lithuania, but Nicole Sutherland is going to have a couple of happy drivers and probably a couple of unhappy drivers down in the pits now.
So we're here with our Minimax race winner, Edward. How was your race?
Well, it was fantastic. I led right from the start. Of course, they got by me in turn 2, but they overtook him and had a big gap, so I'm happy with that, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And are you feeling confident for the rest of your heats and going into the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, definitely. I came here to win, so I'm aiming to win, and I've already won one, so just need to win the next one.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And for the year, you've joined Thule Motorsport as well. How are you getting on so far with Thule?
Oh yeah, Thule's fantastic. It's a great team. I was in RC before, that was a good team, but I've joined Thule now and it's going well.
Well, the very best of luck for the rest of your weekend, Edward. We'll go back up to Henry and to Andrew for the next race.
Thank you very much. And indeed, the next race out on circuit will be the first appearance of the eagerly anticipated senior Rotax category for the weekend. Henry, are you okay?
I'm going to sit down and I'm going to take my tablets before this one. 60 drivers. 60 drivers. But we're going to see which of the 60 drivers up in heat number 1 next.
"60 drivers indeed." Here is the first portion of them. This is Groups A and C heading out on circuits. Reigning champion in both the O-Plate and, of course, the British Kart Championships for Senior Rotax, Kai Hunter, now with Hunter Motorsport, having left DHR in the off-season, starts on pole position. He's joined on the front row by Jack Lilly. Tyler Harris and Teddy Pritchard Williams, Super Ted, now with Strawberry Racing. Spoke to him yesterday in the paddock show. Very happy to be there on the second row of the grid. Reg Haywood and Ben Folland on row 3.
Caden McQueen and Lorenzo Cordal start for row number 4. Lucas Ellingham, really strong in the O-Plate last year for Jack Dax Racing. He starts at the inside of row number 5 alongside Deacon Russell, Sam Baker, and the aforementioned lap record holder Guy Cunnington on the outside of row number 6. Spencer Browham, who came within a whisker of becoming the E20 World Rotax Champion in Bahrain last year. He starts 13th. Gabe Faber in the back in karting after racing minis last year. Ralph Youngling, the older brother of Timo Youngling, who is the Junior Rotax Grand Finals champion, all the way back to Gemma Hyles, 30th position. Ho ho! This is going to be good.
Here we go then for the start of 8 minutes plus 1 lap in what's going to be a frenetic Senior Rotax weekend. Good starts for Kai Hunter, up towards Christmas for the first time. Looks like they're all about making their way through.
Yep.
A beautiful start from the driver who's won the O-Plate the last 2 years in seniors.
Three in total.
3 and
this
4.
would be a 4th O-Plate. If he wins one more, he can have an Olympic Games of O's.
The junior champion in 2019, of course, as well, very much knows how to win an O-Plate, but has got a long way to go here. That's a good move by Guy Cunnington as Benjamin Southgate is off on his first weekend in the Vera Tools British Kart Championships.
Yes.
And that's not the way that Ben would have wanted to start there in the grass, but I think he has been able to keep going at least. Now there...
That's the number 41. That's Rhys Bailey going a little bit slower than he would have liked to be. He's been off somewhere.
Indeed. So 1 lap gone. Hunter leads from Harris. Lilly, Pritchard Williams. Good start for Caden McQueen as well. Up 2 spots to 5th place. That is Reg Haywood on the move. Very experienced driver, of course, particularly around here.
And of course, Reg, now, when Reg was in Minimax, he would have to, he had, like, he's obviously quite a tall lad. He would have to have no graphics kit on his kart to get himself up to get himself down to minimum class weight. But just to give you an idea of how strong the grid is, Guy Cunnington there running 12th position. He is, or moving up to 11th now. Again, former British champion, you know, has won multiple titles in karting, you know, and won many races in the British Championship, not even breaking into the top 10. And this is a heat race. The second year for his own team, Guy Cunnington Racing, in the British Championship. There's a move. And Guy obviously now starting to pick them off one by one. Couple of things. Teddy Pritchard Williams running in 4th place. He's just set the fastest lap of the race. Now, for years, Teddy's been the underdog because he doesn't race that often. He's racing with MLC Motorsport, great team, but, you know, not one of the traditional powerhouses. You know, you've got, when you think of the powerhouses, you've got KR Sport, Dan Holland Racing, Strawberry Racing, MLC, and like the likes of Sam Pollitt and Tooley Motorsport. They were sort of just bubbling under that thing. Now, of course, Teddy has gone on to Strawberry Racing, so the pressure is on a little bit for Teddy Pritchard Williams.
He's definitely delivering at the moment, as I think there's been a problem for Lucas Ellingham, because Lucas Ellingham falling down the order. Club champion here at Whilton Mill for many years as Lorenzo Cordal's on the attack, goes down the inside, gains a position. As expected, Henry, it's all going on out there for the seniors.
Yeah, Guy Cunnington picking up another place, 2 wheels on the curve going into Ashby's. That was on the inside curve. Oh, and somebody gets shown the door. That is one of the Tooley Motorsport karts, the number 81 of Ben Folland. Everyone's changed classes, teams and numbers. But good to see the zip colours back in Rotax. They had a little go at Rotax. They're running with this. That's Lorenzo Cordal, formerly of the Cato Motorsport team, and now Zip. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what chassis they're using. They're using an OTK product, I believe. But yeah, just branded as a team. there is, that's dangerously close to a lap record, I think, for Caden McQueen.
It is indeed. Caden McQueen has really got going in this one. That's not a good moment for Guy Cunnington, who's been in good form from last week, but it's not quite going right today, as that is on the attack. Spencer Braun in one of 3 CRGs here this weekend.
Well, that's 2 more than last year, and I can't understand why, because the CRG is a very well-built wagon.
Very, very good
indeed.
Side by side going into the boot. Reg Hayward on the inside holds on to that position there inside the top 10. 4 minutes gone, 4 minutes to go. Kai Hunter in, I wouldn't say total control of this right now, Henry, but a good level of control. 4/10 clear of Jack Lilly, who's just set the fastest lap of the heat so far.
And again, Jack Lilly, a very, very talented driver. I remember he had I think it was 2 years ago, he had to spend 6 months out of the seat, broke his wrist, and then came back. I was very impressive. There goes Gabe. Was that Gabe Fairbrother getting involved in the number 11 kart? I think it was. Of course, Gabe back with his Ultima R team. Now, Tyler Harris, there is actually a bit of a correction there. So they've got his name wrong. His name is actually Richie Harris.
Like the actor?
Well, no, that's showing your age there, Andrew. No. No, that's I was doing the last round of the UAE Rotax Championship, and he was insisting, Henry, you got to call me Richie. Okay, so I'm going to call you Richie. Fair enough. Now, that is about as comfortable as Kai Hunter has had things all race, and of course, he's gone home. He's gone back to his, brother Reese's team. The whole Hunter family up at karting northeast at Warden Law, which is quickly becoming a mecca of karting up there. I have to say that the circuit gets better every time we visit there. There's more improvements. It's a fantastic track. The venue is fantastic. You could just smell the sea of the smell the salt of the North Sea air that whistles across Warden Law, making it somewhat less than balmy when the weather is not great. It can be a cold place, but cold temperature, but they got warm hearts up there. Although Kai Hunter's not going to be very warm to Jack Lilly if Jack Lilly gets any closer, because he'll have to defend, and Kai will introduce himself to Jack Lilly as somebody who is very tough to overtake.
Absolutely. Broke the run of trying to get the British Championship title last year, of course, with that pulsating final at PF International. Warden Law, of course, was one of the circuits that the Rotax. That's off there. That's the number 31. That's one of the JDRs.
That's
Sam Baker. And a bit of a cart blanket there on the foot, but it's not been a good race for JDR, because they've already lost one of their races.
Lucas Ellingham had dropped back.
Now. Plus 5 second penalty on our race control notifications board for kart number 33, which is Jack Lilly
in second position. So that will drop Jack down to, at the moment, that'll put him back in 7th position. Now, there is a big digital display board going across the start-finish line, so the drivers will be able to see that, so Jack will be aware that he's got a 5-second penalty. Now, we've got 90 seconds plus a lap to go. Caden McQueen is closing in, and I almost had to say, that's not Caden McQueen, because that's on a croc, and then I realised, no, he's KR Sport now. Then there's Tyler Harris. MLC Motorsport have got a slightly new graphics kit, which has Lee Murray and Donna are going to batter me for saying this. It looks a little bit too much like the Thule Motorsports graphics kit, and I can't tell the difference. But don't tell anyone. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Sam Baker, you saw there, has recovered back to pit lane, is out of this race. Well, Kai Hunter has turned up the wick so far today in qualifying, was the fastest driver in times qualifying across those 3 average laps, of course. Good chance as well to have a good look at this new CS55. This is the Carlos Sainz chassis. It's another one of the OTK family. I had a look at them yesterday with Kai in the Hunter Motorsport awning, and I know all of these awnings here are prepared beautifully and professionally, but I was particularly impressed with the setup they've got down there in the lower reaches of the paddock. They're very focused this weekend.
But why does it look like a CRG? Why have they designed it? Why is the graphics kit look like a CRG? Come on, Mr. Abatzi.
Time is up then. Last lap board will be shown the next time the leaders are coming over the line. This is the battle for 6th place. Lorenzo Cordell ahead of Ben Folland. Spencer Brum in the CRG, looking down the inside now of Folland. Drivers who know the circuit very well, but that's not a good moment for Ben Folland, losing 3 positions. I think Deacon Russell was able to get through in all of that state of play. Leaders over the line, final lap board out. Still not done this for Kai Hunter on the road, but at least if Jack Lilly was to get ahead, that plus 5 second penalty would reverse things.
Well, I don't think Jack is even going to try and make a move, because he knows he's got a 5 second penalty, so he's just trying to get as far away from as many drivers as possible behind. So, I mean, we may, but I doubt it. I think Jack is going to sit there. Kai keeps checking over his shoulder, but Jack, this is to show how smart Jack is, the racer. Caden McQueen goes through, last lap move. Does Jack Lilly fight it? No, he looks straight over his shoulder, gets his head down and tries to push on. Nice. Because he was going to be 7th, he's now going to be 5th, possibly. 5th or 6th. So that tactic from Jack Lilly, as Kai Hunter takes the checkered flag, has worked. Smart driving for Lilly, even though he's going to be upset with getting the penalty. But Kai Hunter, who did say that if he won the British title, well, he was always going to be leaving Dan Holland at the end of last year. Yep. Kai was going home. You know, his brother Reese, this is the 3rd year now for Hunter Motorsport as a team. First year, they burst onto the scene really impressively. Last year, they sort of plateaued a little bit. Mm-hmm. So adding Kai Hunter to the family album, so to speak, has really helped. And Kai has already won the Dubai O Plate. That's the first major trophy for them. Not quite sure what happened to the higher car keys after that, but we'll ask Kai. But there we go. Caden McQueen 2nd, Jack Lilly 3rd, Tyler Ritchie Harris 4th, then Guy Cunnington. Considering that Guy Cunnington was 12th when we first looked, that's not a bad effort. There's a list of finishers. Gabe Faber, the drop back there. Matthew Lambert for the Nib Sport team. Nibbers. Good to see Matt Isaacs with his own team now in the paddock.
No, good drive there from Kai Hunter. Lots of reasons to be pleased, and yes, having left DHR, still very friendly with DHR. Of course,
it was an amicable divorce. It was an amicable divorce.
And we'll see his former teammate Matthew Higgins shortly as well in one of the upcoming races for the seniors. Groups B and D will be out next on circuit. Good congratulations there between Hunter and McQueen.
I don't want to say much, Caden, but you're looking a little bit puffed out there after just how many laps? 12 laps. Kai Hunter looks like he's just got out of bed, and Caden, he's puffing and blowing. He's obviously been to the gym as much as I have over the winter as Caden.
Benjamin Southgate coming in. Did get going again, did Benjamin Southgate for Pro Train, finished P24. Rest of them coming in. Who gained the most places in that last race? Because we always like to mention that. Stefan Kaczmarczyk up 8 to 14th. Well done to Stefan there. We're going to go down to Parc Fermé, though, and to Nicole Sutherland.
So over here with Kai Hunter. Kai, 3 O plates already in your books. What are you thinking about the 4th?
Yeah, it'd be nice to do it, but it's a long road ahead. I think the new track has changed, so it's a bit more challenging than last year. But I think we're going to have to give it everything that we got and see where it ends us. So, talking about the new track, obviously last corner put in as a big safety feature. What do you think it's like to race on? Are you enjoying it? Yeah, it honestly depends of what ratio gearing you have, because if you obviously have big sprocket on, then you're amazing down there, but not great down the straight. So I think it makes you think about it in a bit more strategic way, so putting a different cog on the back. But I think for a corner to drive, it's not too bad. I think it does a job. It's just another challenge. I think Whilton needed to do it because of safety, so I have nothing against it. That's great. I'm sure we'll be seeing some more of you this weekend, Kai. So we'll break now to hear a word from our partners.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Getting ready for the next race, race 5 on our schedules here today at Whilton Mill for the 2024 British O-Plate. The heats day, first day of 2 for racing. And Senior Rotax Groups B versus D, Henry, up next, and another strong crop of drivers for us to enjoy.
Yes, indeed. But before we move on, I've been distracted, which is easy when you're as thick as I am. I want to know, and this is, I want to know what a Fanny Bomb, Buckfast and Iron Brew is, which apparently was being served in the Tooley Motorsport tent. So Stuart Angus, tell me what that is. But while you figure out what a Fanny Bomb Iron Brew is, let's go to race 5, heat 2, Senior Rotax up next.
Thank you very much. Let's go through to the grid then for this next one. Keane Geraghty has pole position for this next heat, racing for Strawberry Racing yet again, but also taking up the spanners to an extent himself now as well as part of the Geraghty Motorsport effort.
Yes.
Running very well in Europe so far this year and was quick in qualifying earlier. Alongside him, Lewis Gilbert going for another good run in the home plate there. Matthew Higgins second in the British Kart Championships for Senior Rotax last year. Now the lead driver, of course, in DHR with Kai Hunter moving back to Hunter Motorsport, starts on row 2. Joshua Graham, another mover to KR Sport for this year on row 2. Macaulay Bishop, the winner of the junior O-place in the Rotax categories 1 year ago, starts on row 3 alongside Morgan Porter.
Okay, Gustav Usakovs, Brandon Nagelvort, Alex Cole, Ewan Charman, Neo Clark, the returning Jamie Perilli is next. His retirement lasts all of 6 months. Down at the back of the pack, watch out for Dukas Pravilonis. Here we go, though.
8 minutes plus 1 lap once again for Senior Rotax. Good start from Geraghty into turn 1 and turn 2. They go through Fine Lady as well towards Christmas for the first time. It's looking good through this field of 30 Senior Rotax drivers through Christmas for the first time, all looking relatively calm, Henry, on this first lap.
Ah, yes, well, spoke too soon. No, as they all deviate from the racing line. Defence, defence, defence. Ah, yes. Curse the commentator. Welcome, Andrew Mather. That's the number 50. There was a Strawberry Racing kart, and the number 55 of Ollie Goodyear on that privateer CRG looking slightly less than impressed with the pirouetting Tony Kart that landed on top of him. Over the curb to the final corner at the end of lap number 1. Geraghty, Bishop, Higgins, Gilbert, Usakovs, Graham, Porter, Charman, Nagelvort and Clark. It's the young guns. It's the drivers moving up, and there's Macaulay Bishop. He takes the race lead, and of course Matthew Higgins now, he's the Higgins and Gilbert, second and third, they're the elder statesmen. There's like, what's these young whippersnappers coming in and taking it? So Higgins is going to show what he's made of. Trefeglois is where Higgins is from, in mid-Wales, mid to North Wales.
Beautiful part of the world, of course.
It absolutely is. There's Ollie Goodyear telling the official there, or the incident marshal, how hard done by he was. And I have to say it was Sam Longley, the Strawberry Racing driver that we saw colliding with Goodyear. So 2 laps in, and it's Bishop, Higgins, Gilbert, Usakovs, Geraghty, and the rest.
On Macaulay Bishop, another driver who knows this place very well, of course. Gilbert fighting back down the inside of Higgins there, takes P2. Gustav Usakovs there as well, P4, wanting a part of this. Through Ashby they go once again. Good start for Alex Moody, up 4 places so far, is into the top 10. Lukas Schlegel as well. The Austrian for Kraft Motorsport is improving through the order. Is up to 16th and is in fact the fastest driver on the circuit in this heat at the moment.
Yes, Lukas Schlegel, again, that sort of Austro-German, Scottish conglomerate that is Kraft Motorsport. They're bringing, I've got to say, the Gilbert family, they did a great job bringing drivers over. Last year they had Zombor Kovacs over here with them. This year they got to Lukas Schlegel, amongst others. Yannick Jacobs, Kraft Motorsport driver, and of course one driver who raced for Kraft Motorsport in this championship, in this event last year, Mats Johan Overhoff, went on to beat Spencer Braum in the Rotax E20 Grand Finals in Bahrain. So again, there was a move. There's the move, the number 77 kart getting involved. That was Alex Moody on the outside. I think, is it Alex Moody? I saw Alex earlier on. Is he in this race? Yes, he is. He's 13th. Now, if you have a look at Alex Moody in the number 98 Kart, running 13th for Cato Motorsport, he's got a brand new race suit.
He has.
Which he left at home.
Ah.
The Muppet. So he's got one that's been through the wash about 77,000 times.
Change.
There we go.
Change for the lead. Lewis Gilbert has got ahead of Macaulay Bishop. Macaulay Bishop now under a real attack. Has lost second place. Oh, more attack now. And off there with Gustav Zuzakovs in the 89. It has all gone wrong just like that for the winner of the Junior O-Plate from last year.
Two drivers moving out of juniors into seniors, and they both realise that in seniors you do have to give a little bit more than you did in juniors. Neither driver wanted to give. Oh, and there's a piggyback going on. That's the number 40 Kart of Jamie Perilli up over the back of Neo Clark. They both sort of extricate themselves and get back going. Here's Perilli now with the Jacks Project 1 racing with Gerard Cox team in the number 40 Kart. But yes, important lesson learned there for both Uzakovs and Bishop. Sometimes you have to surrender the corner.
Particularly when there's the best part of 4 minutes to go in one of these heats. Gilbert still out front from Higgins. Garrity now back up to third place. Joshua Graham having a strong run in this one. In his first race of the weekend for KR Sports. Another driver who's been on the move in the off-season. Here's the number 46 of Morgan Porter. At the moment, sort of fighting, but I think at the moment it's a bit of a truce between himself and Ewan Sharman. That's because they've got nearly a second to find up to Brandon Klein Nagelvort. They're inside the top 5.
Now, do you know, this shows why in karting people drive. There's Alex Moody. No, that's not Alex Moody. That's the Pro Train Racing number 12 of Jack Collins. But in karting, it does pay to sort of stay on good terms with everybody as much as possible. Cast your mind back to 2020, last round of the British Championship. Oh, there's Alex Moody in his much washed race suit making a move. Well, obviously the suit's a bit lighter now because it's been washed so many times. So it's more aerodynamically efficient.
Sleek.
Yes. But Morgan Porter beat Reese and Kai Hunter to the British title back in December 2020 here in a somewhat fractious last round, and here we are, they're all racing for the same team owned by Reese Hunter. So yeah, swings and roundabouts and all that. There's a Birrell ART, and it belongs to Ewan Charman. He's moved to Racing Perfection.
At the moment is there in 6th place. Good move. They've not really been catching up to Brandon Klein, Nagelvort and the rest of them. There is Romarian Ubi in the number 77 down the inside. Couple of drivers flirting with the gravel there and the grass at the bottom of Ashby Corner. It's so tempting to attack that corner, Henry. It's always a case of where, particularly in seniors, gravity's working against you.
Yeah, because there's more of you. I mean, I was an absolute nightmare into the corner because there's a lot more weight. Isaac Newton ain't got nothing on me. One driver, very impressive so far, Jack Gillingham. Gillingham? You say potato, I say potato. Jack Gillingham. Privateer driver now in the number 66. In the number 66, running 15th. Very impressive indeed. Props to any of the privateers out there doing well. Now, the last time we saw the Racing Perfection team in the British Championship, the whole team were fighting tooth and nail to sort of release the carts. The cart would literally stick, it would just stick. Grip was not an issue. Too much grip was an issue. So Ewan Charman, hopefully they found a way to loosen that, because the Birrell ART cart is a fantastic cart. It's great to see all the different chassis manufacturers and brands in the sport. But Charman, in the number 42, the Charmander, is is a bit of a cork in the bottle at the moment. Ethan Ling, one of the Landau Kart Club originals in the number 76 kart. Driver that's very, very well known up here, running as a privateer. He is there in the number 76 kart in 19th position. Again, talking about drivers, Ethan, I've known him since he was a very small cadet, so you won't mind me saying this. Ethan's autistic, and karting has helped him with ADHD on the spectrum, helped him in not just in terms of life, but in life and everything. And I know he's him and his family. Hello to Tricia, and I'm sure Steve's out there in the paddock, elbow deep in Greece at the moment somewhere. But karting has helped that family just navigate their way through life. And it's certainly for Ethan, it's given him a much better understanding of life in general. But yeah, Charmander, under pressure from just about everybody.
Yeah, he's having to work really hard at the moment to hold on to this 6th place ahead of Porter, Pirelli, Rennie and Clark. Time is up. Leaders coming over the start-finish line shortly as Porter has a look down the inside there. This is all going to get very close together as they run through the new final chicane. They're going to have to sort themselves out and sort of get one by the time they get round pit bend. And still, Charman holds on to position. It's the Neo Clark in the Thule Motorsport entry coming through the order as well. Charman hard to driver's right, defending that inside line. It was now on the final lap. There's a warning there for the number 42 from Race Control.
I was going to say, new helmet colours for you and Charman this year, but that was interesting. Neo Clark in the number 28 kart took a different line. He took a tight line in, slowed it down at the start of that last corner, and then lost an awful lot of ground. So that's something that new that we're looking at. You want to defend going into that corner. You know, it does cost you lots of speed on the apex because, of course, you're trying to get through the power band for a much lower speed. Checkered flag is out, and it is a win for the Diamond Dorai, Lewis Gilbert.
Lewis Gilbert, 2021 British Open champion, O-plate holder in the senior category previously, starts his racing portion of the weekend with a victory. Very good stuff for Gilbert there in Craft Motorsport. Matthew Higgins finishes P2. Keane Garrity inside the top 3 as well. Well, I think we're pretty pleased with that result to kick things off. Joshua Graham P4, Brandon Klein Nagelvort home in a bit of a lonely 5th place, but a good 5th place. 5 seconds clear of Ewan Charman, who did hold on to that spot on the road. Morgan Porter, Tristan Rennie, Neo Clark and Macaulay Bishop finish in the top 10. Decent recovery in respects for Bishop there. Henry, considering he was off the road, but he'll want a lot higher than that later in the weekend.
Yes, now there's Luca Schlegel. Welcome to the British Karting Championship, Luca. Here we go. Now this could be interesting. The telephone of doom could be busy at the end of that one. Very quickly, because I know Nicole will be down there in the pits at some point, and we'll be able to bring you some interviews, but somebody on the live chat, Marky, is it free to watch? Well, of course, it's free to watch on Alpha, but it's free to watch here in person. Just come in. If they try and charge you on the gate, just tell your Henry's mate. And, just tell your Henry's mate, they'll let you in. Not a problem at all. But yes, it is free to watch. We're here all day tomorrow. Please come down and watch the British Open Championship.
And if you know someone who's on their way anyway, that is a big help as well, because it's a very full car park this weekend.
It's very full.
Club together, and save a bit of fuel.
Save the environment as you come to watch an afternoon of motor racing.
There's a little chat between Matthew Higgins and Kai Hunter, the teammates from last year, still very good friends, of course. Higgins second in that last race. Is anybody having their picture taken? Well, at the moment, it's all looking okay for these drivers coming through. There goes the number 29
actually,
of Yannick.
There we go.
There we go. Joshua Rudd.
Josh Rudd, sorry. Now, actually, what you saw there was Kai Hunter chatting to his ex-teammate, Matthew Higgins.
Indeed.
You know, Dan Holland should probably go over there now and ban him, because he was only there chatting to Matt so we could check out the settings on the kart.
Yes.
Only joking. Over to Nicole Sutherland, who is down the pit lane very, very soon. Take it away, Nicole.
So we've just wrapped up our second senior Rotax heat of the day. Race winner, Lewis Gilbert. Lewis, how was your race?
Yeah, it was pretty good race, to be honest. A bit of a tough start, I was going off second, but we got into 4th, and then after that we just worked our way back to 1st, and then we got a nice little gap and just kind of cruised to the end, so I think it was a good race. Yeah,
and so obviously O-plate is the one that everybody wants. What are you thinking, just consistency for this weekend, or? Yeah, just if I have good top 3 results, I think we've definitely got a chance. We've won it in the past, so we can definitely do it again, so I'm hoping we can just get a decent weekend and then see how it goes. Well, very best of luck, Lewis, thank you. So we'll head back up to the comms box now, and just a quick ad break from our partners.
Welcome back to Whilton Mill, getting ready for the next race out on circuit. It'll be the first racing appearance of the weekend, Henry, for Micromax. Now, we talked earlier about how the top 9 of 9 of the top 10 from last year have moved up to Minimax, but
yes.
what is very good news is we've got a new crop of talents coming in to form a bumper grid of 31 drivers here.
A whole host, and some of them, including number 32, Logan Rolfe, last weekend in another championship up at Glenagorse, the Kart Championship, run by Darren Beavers, I was at. Logan was in a Bambino.
Really?
Sure he was. He's moving up to Micromax this weekend. But anyway, a lot of these are moving. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe I've got it mixed up. I might have done. All I know, 100%, is that we're about to go to the first race for Micromax.
Here we go then with the grid for Heat 1 in Micromax. Charlie Page and Joshua Cook on the front row. Joshua Cook on the inside for pole position. Dean Pahal and Lucian Smith on row 2. Luke Millward and Elliot Travis on row 3.
On row number 4, Max Jolly and Austin Oman. Logan Rolfe, maybe in his first race in Micro, maybe not. Alfie Garrett, Alfie Mayer and Maximilian Abrahart.
Row 7, James Roots and Sebastian Behrman, Josh Hushka and Arthur Fair on row 8, Jensen Walker and Benedictas Masiokas on row number 9.
Then we've got Archie Rogers, Tyler Harris, Barber, Chester Fawkes, Albert Farrow, William Crombie, Xavier Ramsey. That's your top 24, and still there are more.
Harry Ratcliffe and Oliver Dawson on row 13. Ethan Lloyd and Toby Big starts on row 14. On row 15, it's Harper Das and Adam Galudi. George Swire completes the 31 runners. Are we good for green? No, we're going to go around for an extra formation lap before the start of this one. Lots of drivers on this grid, Henry. As I say, this is perhaps the first time that we've seen them within the Rotax ladder, but plenty of experience for these drivers. They've done other cadet classes, Bambinos, as you say. I'm really looking forward to see how this new generation of drivers do this year.
Yeah, and I think a lot of work has gone on behind the scenes in Micromax, and Minimax this year. Just, obviously last year was the first full season for Micromax in the British Championships. It was very competitive, but it's always a learning process, and I've got to say, when you look at the different teams involved, this is what is very impressive. Up at the front, you've got Synergy, you've got KR Sports, you've got the Richardson Chassis Engineering Group, you've got Jax, you've got Project One. So many different teams, different chassis. Really good to see, and of course the Micromax engine providing extremely level playing fields.
Here we go then, 8 minutes on the clock and away, and no, we're not. We're going to go around for another extra formation lap. The course is out again there.
And that allows, I've got to say that we are getting some excellent camera shots here. We are literally almost sitting with the drivers, especially coming through the last corner. Because they're going slower now, it gives the Alpha Live camera crew much, and the same if you're at Christmas corner, you're getting close. This year, 2024, Alpha are getting you closer to the action than ever, anywhere. And you and I are very fortunate. We commentate on karting all over the world for multiple different promoters, broadcasters, what have you. But some of the up close and personal shots you're getting that's not as up close and personal. That's the number 38 car getting a little bit too up close and personal. That's Luke Millward, who represented Team UK in the Tillotson T4 World Cup. And there's the number 44 car of Lucian Smith. But hopefully we'll go again.
Indeed. So round 4, another time through the cut through the old layouts here at Whilton Mill. Are we ready for a go for 8 minutes plus 1 lap? Yes, green lights, away we go then. Joshua Cook from the front of the field takes the runners in Micromax through turn 1, through turn 2, Oblivion and the Crook, up past Fine Lady. It's a good start for some of our youngest drivers here this weekend. Down the inside, that's Austin Owen coming through. Was very good 1 week ago in the club meeting, had a difficult qualifying, but that's a super start for Austin Owen for Sam Pollitt Racing from row 4.
Down towards Ashby's we go, spreading out 3 wide into, that's Wilkins now down the hill. And one driver there running a little bit wider. That was the number 20. Is it the 24 Kart? Side by side further up, that's Dian Pahal. Dian Pahal was on the podium last weekend at Gladagorse in the karting championship, and I say to Dian, I said on the phone, Dian, that's the best I've ever seen you drive. And he went, well, that's not very nice, is it? Are you trying to say that every other time you see me drive, I've been rubbish? Cheers, Dian. No, he's a great kid, doing extremely well, is Dian Pahal. And also, what I do have to say is that, you know, Dian is a real ambassador, you know, as well. You know, he's Sikh, and obviously very proud of his heritage, of his background, and, you know, trying to make the sport more inclusive. You know, the people of colour, people of the different ethnic minorities, different races, religions, they need to see, you know, people that look like them, you know, doing well. And Dian is doing well, and Dian wants to inspire, you know, other members of the Sikh community into karting, which I think is just an excellent thing. And yeah, and he's very quick-witted as well, as I discovered to my cost last weekend, because after he said that in front of everyone at the podium, you know, the chorus of "Henry, you got done by a 9-year-old" rang out far and wide. But anyway, I digress. Joshua Cook leads back to racing, Andrew.
Does indeed. 6 minutes to go. Charlie Page up there in second place. Really good run this for Charlie Page so far. Having a little look down the inside there. I think that was Arthur Farrow, sorry. I'm going to do that a lot this year. Albert and Arthur, both racing, both with the HR. The way to tell them apart, Arthur is the 2-4, Albert is the 4-2.
Right. And I was thinking that one of them is older than the other. No?
I don't know.
Well, one of them must be.
5 minutes 30 to go, and stabilising this race at the moment. Maxi Abrahart up to 5th place now. One of the Zip Factory team runners. A lot of confidence, I feel, in the Zip Factory team tents so far this weekend. I was swarmed. Henry, I was swarmed yesterday by Micromax drivers. Having a chat with Chester Fawkes, who's out in this race as well,
yes,
in 27th place. And I turned around, and there was suddenly they'd multiplied.
Like,
and there's 4 of them. Yes. And I thought, well, which of you are we going to win? Like, and they all put their hands up.
Like guinea pigs during mating season, suddenly there's 27,000 of them. But no, that's really good, because they see the media and they go towards them. Instead of running away from the camera and the microphone and interview because they're shy, they don't know what to say, they all want to be there. They all want to promote themselves. They all want to tell the story. They're not afraid of the camera. They're not afraid of the media. And that is so good, you know, for them in the future, because, you know, they don't realise that they see us at the paddock show, you know, messing about, and they relax. It's only Henry, it's only Andrew, it's only Anthony, you know, messing about, you know. They don't think about the microphone that you're holding, and therefore they automatically relax more, so that when they move on in their careers, if they move on in their careers, you know, when there's sponsors, you know, and things like that, they're automatically far more media savvy and comfortable. Now, that's going to be a little bit uncomfortable for the number 47 Kart, and that would be Alfie Garrett, and that's Dian Pahal. See, I cursed the commentator again. Sorry, Dian, but he was doing very well. Now he's not doing quite so well.
4 minutes to go in this one, into the second half on time. James Roots has just got past William Crombie for 16th place, so that's an improvement for Evolve Motorsports driver there. We're having a look at Max Jolly under attack from Alfie Garrett. Alfie Garrett having another go there, with Sebastian Behrman also involved. Logan Rolfe just behind in the number 32 as well. Look out for Logan Rolfe, who maybe officially, maybe unofficially, but it's on my stats sheet anyway, just hold the record for the most ice creams eaten
I could believe that.
in a British karting paddock within one weekend.
Oh, excellent. I mean, 77.
3 minutes and 15 to go. Henry's, see, we're in a different position here. Almost, well, I'll say a new position. It's more back to the old position of commentating here at Whilton Mill.
Yes.
And it's interacting with the paddock. 3 minutes to go in this one. Cook under pressure. No, that wasn't Joshua Cook. It was the same team, though. It's Elliot Travis in 4th place under pressure from Abrahart. They've got a bit of a gap to Max Jolly and the rest of them behind. Along the back straight, still a great opportunity for overtaking there, and I think we're going to see more of this weekend with the changes later on. That's a lovely bit of positioning by Luke Millward, who, having had that tough formation lap, fell back, is now marching back through the order. That is Millward up into 9th.
And yes, and of course, the commentating on the heats is new. The heats is our opportunity to tell stories, to give you a little bit of perspective. You know, when it comes to the finals, yes, it's going to be all about the on-track action, what you're looking at on the camera. That's what's important. During the heats, yes, we're not going to miss any overtakes, we're not going to miss anything, but it gives us extra time as broadcasters to keep you up to date, to give you insight, background, stories into the drivers. So I won't be wittering all weekend, just today, a little bit.
2 minutes
Back
remaining.
to the racing.
2 minutes in this one to go. 2.2 seconds is the gap now for Joshua Cook. Bit of a note there for Arthur Farrow, the number 24, as you can see on the digi flag there on the screen, is under investigation for something. We don't know what that is at this stage, but has alerted the attention of the officials. Down the inside, this is for second place. Good stuff again from Austin Oman. As I say, he was looking really good 1 week ago, and is marching through the order yet again, but it's going to be a little bit beyond him, I think, this one. 2.5 seconds to find with less than 2 minutes on the clock.
No, Austin Oman, you know, one of the more, it sounds strange to say, now one of the more experienced drivers in this class. There's the number 61 of Maximilian Abrahart getting it all crossed up. And that cutback section there, is that
Ozias.
Ozias. I keep getting Ozias and Wilkins mixed up. And there's the number 37, but Ozias, that cutback section, that second curb, if you hit it at the wrong angle, it can sort of bounce the kart and change the direction of the kart very, very
quickly indeed.
Yes. But he's okay. And Logan Rolfe, 9th at the moment. Now, is that the amount of ice creams he ate in 1 weekend?
Yeah, pretty much.
Something like that there. So it's Cook, 3 seconds at the road from Oman. Charlie Page. Charlie's been doing a bit of racing out in the Middle East early this year. Very impressive indeed. Elliot Travis, Max Jolly. Max has some great Instagram stuff, you know, where he talks around the race meeting. Again, great media practice. There he is, the number 14 kart, side by side between the 47 of Alfie Garrett and Elliot Travis. Garrett then gets shuffled to the outside of the RCE kart. Now, you can see the 2 lines there. Watch that kart, the purple kart, the KR Sport. Look how much ground he lost because he tried to go too wide, and it really does affect the exit speed of the kart coming out of that new slower corner.
I've not driven it yet, but it's what's got me quite liking that last section. It's got the drivers thinking about how to tackle that corner, and we're going to find lots out across the course of this weekend. That looked to be Alfie Mayer. Yes, it was, in the number 15, going for an overtake into the top 10. We are expired now on time. We're not on the final lap just yet. Joshua Cook still comfortable, 3.6 seconds clear of the rest of the order. This is the fight for 5th place. Elliot Travis at the front of it at the moment. Max Jolly's done really nicely in this race, Henry. It's fought up to 4th place, a gain of 3 so far for Elliot Travis. Ooh. I think quite like the conditions yesterday when it was a bit slippery.
Yes.
But today he's having to fight quite hard. Sebastian Behrman just behind him there in the number 37 in this fight for 5th.
Now, we look as we start the final lap. Up front, well, here's the battle of the second between Oman and 11. Page to the inside, Charlie Page, wheel to wheel, side by side, across the top, through Inkermans. Good, respectful racing there. Now, will Page duck to the inside going into braking into Ashby's? No. He will try and size up a move. Not coming, well, he's going to try and undercut him coming out of Wilkins, up the inside into Ozias.
Yeah, really good positioning there from Charlie Page. He's got to get the speed off of Ozias right, though, and he has done. Not many opportunities now for Owen to have a go back, but for Joshua Cook, what a start to the weekend. Was fastest in timed qualifying practice earlier on today. There's a continuing battle between Travis and Behrman there for 4th place. Cook takes the win by some 5 seconds clear of Page. Owen in 3rd, Jolly 4th, Elliot Travis just holds on there to 5th place ahead of Sebastian Behrman in 6th. Alfie Garrett in 7th place. Should give good credit to Behrman's drive there. That was up 8 positions. That's got to be one of the best, at least, in this race. Garrett in 7th, Rolfe 8th, Abrahart in 9th, and Alfie Mayer completes the top 10.
Now, of course, I think it was just before the start of this race when I said, and of course, the Micromax package is really good with parity and evenness, and then we get a winner by 5 seconds. So, you know, that's a bit of an outlier, a misnomer. There's the rest of your finishing results down there to Adam Galudi in 27 Chester Forks. And even though these drivers, some of these drivers, they're competing in their first real big event of the year. So even though they're a lot further back than what they would hope to be, it's still getting them lots of good experience. Laps is key.
And it's a healthy entry, but I think one of the really good things for these drivers' development, especially going forward into the British Kart Championships proper later in the year, the multi-round series, everybody gets to the final in this one. You don't have to worry about, what if I don't make that top 34? You're going to be there. There's 31 of you.
Yeah, no, that is very good. There's the Travis Perkins sponsored number 61 kart, the Maximilian Abrahart, the Zip Factory team. Oh, thumbs up. And again, this is something else. Excuse me while I witter, but this is giving these. What other sport? What other 8-year-old, 9-year-old sportsmen and women have cameras shoved in their faces, broadcast around the world the minute they go out onto the circuit and the minute that they come in, which is incredible.
I've got to say, really good to see support there for Charlie Page. I think that's one of the best races I've ever seen Charlie Page have. That's a tremendous effort.
Don't say that to him, because he might take a leaf out of Dian Bahal's book. There we go. Up next, race number 7. It's the start of the Honda Cadet Heats.
Honda Cadet, the GX200 Formula class is out next. Let's have a look at the grid for this one. Kevin Ivanov for Zip Factory has pole position. Margaris Kvekis, very early driver in his career in owner starts alongside on the front row. Keen Sullivan and Ed Spain on row 2. Elliot Bourke and Ricky McIntosh start on row 3.
Andrew Sutherland and Luke McGall start on row number 4. Jack Fulbrook-Harmer and Ronnie Smart on row 5. Ralphie Branscombe and Albie Smith on row 6.
Archie Cannon and last year's champion in Honda Cadet starts on row 7. That, of course, being Ryan White. Harry Grant and Shay Hilton on row 8. Shaylan Secreton and J.M. Prakash start on row 9. 18 runners in the field. Good to see an expanding GX200 class here, Henry, and like we've just seen with the Micromax, young set of drivers raring to go for this O plate.
And there, just going out of your screen, there was the number 1 plate kart, the Project 1. Now this will be a standing start, don't forget. Ryan White using the number 1. He was last year's Motorsport UK British Kart champion. He is running with in Cadet it's just Project 1, and then in Mini Junior Micro it's Project 1 and Jax, I believe. I stand to be corrected, but yes, and there's Dan Ashton, and today's colour of trainer is orange and black. Orange is the new black.
Ready to go racing then. Eyes on those lights for the first race of the weekend in Honda Cadet. 8 minutes plus 1 lap. Waiting on them, and away they go. Oh, stop there for Kvekis early on. Didn't get the starts right at all there. So Kevin Ivanov pulls away from pole position in the lead of this race. It's one of the ambitions that has come through. Might be Keith Sullivan, who started on that other side of the grid. I think it is, who's come through to lead in the early stages. But what happened there for Kvekis?
Well, I mean, and one driver was sort of signalling in hope more than anything. Please, we need to restart. We need to restart. But fortunately, that heat has not decided. There's the number 45 kart now. Harry Grant trying to pick up a few places towards the back. And into Ozier's, there's the number 50 kart. That's Kevin Ivanov. Again, now he's going to try and fight his way back up. See Kevin race a few times this year. Very impressive young man indeed. And now he gets a chance to show his mettle, as it were. Yeah,
and Zip Factory team had a 1-2 in Honda Cadets last year, so they definitely know how to do things here in the O-Plate, end of lap 1. It's Ed Spain who's come through. Apologies, it's the other one of the Ambition Motorsports runners at the front of the field who's come through. So Ed Spain leads from Ricky McIntosh. Margaris Kvekis there in third place. Very interested to see how Kvekis gets on here, because someone else that I work with in the karting world would shame me for not mentioning that Margaris Kvekis this time last year was racing in the Club 100 Cadets Championship. So he's taking a step up on the Motorsport UK karting pathway. He's gone from Arrive and Drive and is now here competing in the British Kart Championship.
That's what it's all about. You know, you start off in rental karting, then you move up to Club 100, which is kind of like a halfway step, you know, organised racing, but in Club 100 karts, and then you take the lead. It saves parents a lot of money because, you know, when kids are 6, 7, 8 years old, today I want to be a racing driver, tomorrow I want to be an astronaut. Yes. You know, it saves them from maybe investing a lot of money into something that gets used twice. And I've got to say, the graphics kit, it reminds you of, you know, when car manufacturers, they do like a test livery, but they don't want anyone to see the lines of the car. So that's a good graphics kit there for the number 31. There's the number 51, the 35 of Kavekis, rather, or Luke McGall. I do apologise. I'll get it right at some point. Kevin Ivanov, fastest lap of the race, up into 8th position now. As usual, Ralphie Branscombe getting an awful lot of support online. Ralphie is 12th at the minute, and
looking to build on the experience of last year. Yes. 3rd in the 2023 O-Plate, which ran at a different time of year, if I remember correctly. Yes, it wasn't at the start of the year like the Rotax categories. It was a bit later on.
Yeah, this is the first time that the Honda O-Plate has joined the Rotax O-Plate. I mean, it's, you know, we would have had 202 drivers. We've got 220 with the addition of Hondas, which makes such a busy paddock. There goes the 15 kart of Margaris Kavekis up into what is now second position. Well, he lost second, and now he's regained second ahead of the number 33 kart of Ricky McIntosh. And it's a very distinctive graphics kit as well for Ricky McIntosh.
Apologies for me, even Ivanov, who had the weaker start, didn't he? From
So he's charging back up through the order.
He's indeed now back up to 5th place. Ryan White is on the move as well. Took the championship last year in Honda Cadet, the Motorsport UK British Kart champion, staying in. I think that's quite a good move. Good to get some more experience, especially as the field grows once again here in Honda Cadet.
Yes, absolutely. You know, Honda Cadet, I would say a starting class. It is, but I mean, it's a fantastic, you know, class of kart to race in. It teaches drivers so much, you know, about momentum, about being smooth, about you know, minimizing mistakes. You know, and when the racing is good, like it is now, and you can see the two Project 1 karts very briefly there, Ronnie Smart and Ryan White running line and stern. When the racing is good, it's excellent.
Really is. I say in its old form, some very illustrious names on the record of winners for the Honda Cadet O-Plate. Ollie Behrman back in the day, Jess Hawkins as well, 3.5 minutes.
Alex Albon was never the O-Plate champion.
No, he was
Alex Albon
British
and
champion.
Tom Ingram were both British champions. Well, Tom Ingram was a champion in Super 2, which shows how old Tom is nowadays. Unfortunately, I was commentating on it at the time when shows how old I am. But anyway, moving swiftly on, Ed Spain, 0.3 of a second in front of Margaris Kavekis, with Luke McGall, Ricky McIntosh. Oh no, no longer Ricky McIntosh. Now that driver on your screen, the number 50 of Kevin Ivanov, has moved past McIntosh into P4.
So the pole sitter coming back here, showing that pace, well, quite clearly because of the format with 3 average laps. Single lap pace being converted into strong race pace as well. 2.5 minutes remaining. Here is your train for the lead then. Ed Spain still at the front of it. Kavekis there in second place, starting to put Ed Spain under a bit of pressure now. Luke McGall still there in third. I'd say though, Henry, right now, perhaps too early to go for it, but Kavekis is going to have a little bit of a look. Down the inside, up towards Christmas Corner. No, thinks better of it. That's wise driving. Yes. That's really good to see from Kavekis straight away, that he realised, I could go for the lead at this point, but it's just going to bring the likes of McGall, Ivanov and others back into play. I'll settle for my track position right now.
Smart driving. We've seen already in senior Rotax drivers not being as smart as that. Now, I was going to say, looking at Kevin Ivanov there, he is in the number 50 car. Now, he's got Red Bull on his crash helmet, and the camera work is getting so good here now at these race meetings that I would be inclined, you know, don't put Red Bull on your crash helmet unless they're sponsoring you. So, you know, give them a ring or send them a text.
It could be a. There was a Citroen C1s. I'll just give my turn to go off topic here. Citroen C1s. There's a team called Arable Racing.
Right, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I went with a little tractor on
Oh, okay, fair enough. But oh God, I remember a Citroen Visa. Anyway, we're wittering. Someone will get upset on the live chat. Ed Spain leads with a minute to go.
And good work there from the number 50 of Ivanov. So having had that problem at the start, which I'm sure they'll look at and review back in the ordering, won't make that mistake again. He's come back through the order here. Still has a chance to win this race. Pace at the moment. Well, we're talking about lap records. This will definitely be the lap record setting race pace.
Is that because it's the first ever Honda Cadet race?
It's the first ever Honda Cadet race on this layout of Whilton Mill, of course.
Right, well,
they weren't here last week.
Well, of course, you know, someone's going to go down in the record books very shortly. Now, 30 seconds to go. Ivanov, what a recovery. Kevin Ivanov takes the lead away from Ed Spain, going across the top of Inkermans, and now Spain is having to defend from Kavekis. Kavekis squeezes in wide, and Spain has dropped from first to third, maybe fourth, because around the outside goes Luke McGaw. Spain now fighting back, and you can see this is why they waited, because, you know, they waited to battle, because when you get held up in Honda, look at the advantage that Ivanov and Kavekis have now got. Just that half a lap of battling has really jettisoned the top four.
And through nothing that Ed Spain's done particularly wrong in this race, he's gone from fighting for the lead. He could be down in 6th place by the end of this in terms of how this final lap goes. We hope not for him, of course. And he continues to hold that good pace. Could be good value for third in this one. But into play come the likes of Ryan White. There is the reigning champion in the British Kart Championships for Honda Cadet, through past the number 99 of Albie Smith. So that's White back up to 5th place. Trying to fight back there is Albie Smith down the hill. Keen Sullivan, who was the other driver held up at the start, was in the wrong place at the wrong time at the very start of this one when Ivanov had that problem getting away from the grid, is also back into play here. But for Kevin Ivanov, fastest driver in timed qualifying, had that weak start, is going to come back through and take the first ever victory in Honda Cadet GX200 on this new layout round Whilton Mill, and the fastest lap to boot. A win by 0.8 of a second ahead of Margaris Kavekis there. Ed Spain in third. Luke McGaw does get 4th place there ahead of Ryan White, Albie Smith, Keen Sullivan and Ronnie Smart in the top 8 as well.
The rest of the field coming across the line now, and it's great. You asked, the drivers are asked to do a pose, to do their victory pose. They have, you know, for their grid shots, they have, you know, the smiling, a normal one, and then like a winner shot, you know, for when they win, in a case like that. And it's always good to see, you know, what pose the drivers kind of come up with in their head. This is what I want to do when I win. And it's equally as good to see all 18 starters finish the race. Now, we halfway through the heats today, Mr. Mather?
We are halfway through indeed. 7 races down, 7 to go. Been absolutely fantastic here so far. You're watching live coverage of the 2024 Wera Tools British Kart Championships. It is the 2024 British Open Championship, the O-plates for Honda Cadet and Rotax as well. Andrew Mather and Henry Beaudette on commentary duties for you throughout the whole weekend. Great to be bringing you coverage here on the Saturday. More to come this afternoon. Another 7 races. We'll be kicking it off with the second appearance of Minimax for this weekend, as onto the weighbridge goes Kavekis.
Jake Designs has done their best impression of a karting zebra with that graphics kit.
Ed Spain onto the weighbridge there as well. So as I say, groups A and C from timed qualifying earlier on today out next. If you're wanting any more of the stats and the results,
yes, please.
Head across to the British Kart Championships website.
Right.
The live timing brought to you by Motorsport Timing UK. Ian Rogers and the whole team there.
Yes, thank you, Ian.
Every single result you can see on there and peruse at your leisure.
I love a good perusal.
How everyone's getting on.
But you know what else is that those smart people in the live chat, they put a link. You can tell it's a link because it's in blue. Now, all I know is that that's the end of my technical knowledge. It's in blue. So if you're watching, well, of course you're watching, or else of course you're watching. Look, go to there's a link there that will take you to all the start times, which people are very concerned with. I don't know why you're just not watching the whole program. Don't flit away. Come back, stay and watch it all. But start times, results, and other bits of information.
Statistics.
Like statistics. Next up will be another race, but before then, we're going to go and speak to some of our Honda Cadet drivers who are down the pits with Nicole Sutherland.
So we're with race winner Kevin. Kevin, we saw you start on pole and then you lost the race lead halfway through the race, came back for the win. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened?
So there was no green flag, so everyone went and there was no green flag, so I obviously didn't know what to do, so everyone went and I just sent it and regained conditions and just got to first again.
And are you feeling confident for the rest of the weekend? Do you think you can get some more wins in there?
Yeah, 100%.
Great, thanks very much, Kevin. Good luck for the rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
We'll go back up to the comms box with Henry and Andrew.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Rolling out for the next race. Second appearance for Minimax 950 Groups A and C. They're out next. Here we go then for Groups A and C. For everyone on the odd side of the road, this is their first race. On the other side, it's their second race. Findlay Lines has pole position. Cian Bernard, the FIA Academy representative for 2024, is alongside on the front row. Luca Holmes-Ballack and Jack Collinson on row 2. Blair Smith in the number 8. And Emerson and McAndrew-Uren on row number 3.
Ilya Veliko and Charlie King are on row 4, Zach Starbuck and Jaime Ambrose on row 5, Max Gilman and Josh Cormack on row 6.
Joshua Griffin and Harry Taylor on row 7, Jensen Chalk and Theo Bradshaw go from row 8, Alfie Ward and Miles Burton on row 9. Daniel Wisniewski and Devin Taylor complete the top 20. Daniel Minto and Benjamin Lawn start on row 11. Jensen Sale and Fenton Stoneman start on row 12. Adam Turchek and Connor Winfield on row 13. Achille Giannone and Adam Giuditis start on row 14. David Hyans and Louis Radcliffe start on row 15. And Maxi Braskov completes the 31 runners in this one.
Oh dear, and
that's
there is a
bit
problem, and I hope that there's going to be no nose cones of that. That's not ideal. I hope you're watching in Vilnius because you've got 5 Lithuanians in this race alone. And off we go into turn number 1. It's a good start from Findlay Lines, the driver, the bright green crash helmet. He's been doing an awful lot of winning at the start of this year's Findlay Lines, really marking himself out. We talked about Albie Friend, being the driver that is all-conquering in Minimax. Well, Findlay Lines is going to have something to say about that, the Maximum Motorsport sponsored driver, and he's coming up through the ranks of karting. He was a Honda Cadet, then he was, now racing Minimax, and with the Synergy Factory team. He's got Macaulay Austin mechanicking for him, and big things in the future for Findlay Lines, and he's leading comfortably. He's learning how to win. That's the key for Findlay Lines this year. His speed has never been in doubt, but it was always a case of, I'm fast, but at some point in a race, I'll put myself in the wrong position and take myself out of a chance to win. Now, oh dear, speaking of taking themselves out of a chance of victory, that is Achille Giannone, one of those 2 drivers.
And Euiditis as well, Adam Euiditis for M Sport in the number 99. Hopefully they'll be able to get going again and back into the race to at least score some points. They sadly, of course, will not be in contention for the race victory. Here are drivers in contention for some good points here. That is the number 33. That is Emerson McAndrew coming back through the order. Micromax champion from 2023 on the move.
Yes, and of course, this is the second heat. So, for Cian Bernard, the driver to start on the outside row of the grid, that's Group A. It's their second heat race, and the drivers on the inside, so Lines, Holmes, Ballack, Blair Smith, the one Blair Smith, this is their first race. So Emerson McAndrew-Uren, who didn't have a great opening heat, has now got to be ultra aggressive to try and maximise his points in this race to give him a half-decent start for the superheat. There's the newly liveried number 34 M Sport kart of Ilya Veliko. Like I said, one of a quintet of Lithuanians. And they say, the streets of Vilnius are empty because they're all watching Alpha Live.
Oh, indeed. Ilya
Well,
Veliko,
600 of them are.
Another driver who's come through the karting pathway, has experience on Rotax machinery before in a Club 100 capacity. Now racing here on his own machine, doing very nicely indeed. 5 minutes and 20 to go. Lines, Holmes, Ballack, Smith, Bernard, McAndrew Uren there in the top 5. Who's coming through the field? Jensen Chalk's not having a bad run. Henry's up to 11th place. That's a gain of 4. Adam Turacek, who had a spin in the first race, also coming back through the order, is up to 17th, a gain of 8.
Well, I know Jensen Chalk's mum is here, and she's not the greatest watcher. She's one of the very, very nervous mums. It's okay, Kathy, you can now look, because they're all single file. You've got Jensen's got through the first corner, and he's now having a race, and he's gaining a few positions. So you can stop hiding and actually watch for a couple of laps at least. Finley Lines extend his advantage to just 1 second, a 49.09.
49.09, that is not far off the pace that we saw from Edward Haynes in the A final last week. That's currently the lap record, 3 wide, nearly into Christmas corner. Through the middle goes Charlie King there in the number 74. Nice move there for 8th place.
I've got to say that as Finley Lines gets closer and closer to a track record, because Finley is the son of ex-British touring car driver, now TCR UK Championship organiser Stuart Lines, and that would be, lap records is not something that the Lines family are familiar with until Finley came along in racing. Sorry, Stuart. I'm only joking.
Second half of the race then on time. Lines leads by a second clear of Holmes Ballack. Blair Smith, number 8 seed from last year's Minimax competitions in the Wera Tools British Kart Championships. Good to see there's a decent number of drivers who've stayed in Minimax for 2024.
Yeah, so this is Blair Smith being and Luca Holmes Ballack amongst them.
Now, just to further confuse us, Henry, as we mentioned, we have two Blair Smiths in this category. They're both from the wonderful part of the world in Scotland.
Yes.
They're both from race their home circuit, Lark Hall.
Yes.
So at the moment, I've got this is the Blair Smith from Stonehouse,
right,
as opposed to the Blair Smith from Coatbridge.
Okay, because they both raced at Lark Hall in last year's British Champ. Yes, which was. But now Emerson McAndrew Uren, hot on the heels of Cian Bernard. Now we've got 3 minutes to go. Does he push? Does he try and work with Cian Bernard, or does he think, no, I've got to go and get up the road? Because that's a 3.5 second lead. I'm not sure that on his own McAndrew Uren could catch it. Oh, here's a good battle, side by side at the inside. That's Tony Motorsport Kart. Oh, and the 55. Oh, and that is the number 55 over the grass. Jaime Ambrose getting shown the exit there. Oh, was that the number 53? Yeah, it was the 55 and the 53 in close contention. Harry Taylor just behind Ambrose now. That very brightly liveried number 12 car, that is that's Adam Turek, a privateer driver. Now, it says on the entry list he's on a Paralin, but that looks awfully Alonso. No, that's just a privateer, so it is a Paralin. Yeah. I thought it was an Alonso-ish.
An FA card, yeah.
An FA card graphics kit, but it's not. It's his own privateer livery. So good to see the privateers still
racing through. That's Zach Starbuck down the inside of Jack Collinson. Starbuck up to 6th place. Had a chat to his dad earlier on this morning. One of the drivers' parents very much looking at the new final corner as a positive. Oh, bit of contact there, though. A bit of a mess down into Ashby corner. 3 into 1 simply did not go.
No, there was a driver trying to make it 3 wide, going up the inside. Couldn't quite see who it was, and of course the driver that was sandwiched in the middle was the aforementioned privateer Adam Turek. Sorry, is it
Turacek?
Turacek, I do apologise. Let's have a look. We'll look to see where Turacek has come round. It was Theo Brad. Now, someone in the live chat was saying Theo Bradshaw deserves a bit of good fortune. He's not got it in this race. So it was Turacek, Bradshaw, and I think it was possibly Josh Cormack.
Yeah, Josh Cormack.
Who were the 3 into 1. Don't go. I was going to say, I'm not sure. We Alpha Live do have action replays. I'm not sure we got them this weekend.
Yep.
Or we might have them this weekend. But we'll queue up a couple of those later on. We'll build up to things. But that's just another little bow in our arrow for later in the weekend to show you all. But there is Blair Smith. Now this is Stonehouse? Stonebridge.
Stonehouse, yes.
Stonehouse Blair Smith. This is going to get awfully confusing. So number 8 is Stonehouse Smith.
The Synergy one.
The Stonehouse Synergy Smith.
It's probably an easier way of doing it.
And the other Blair Smith is from? Which lovely part of Scotland?
Part of Scotland, Coatbridge. Coatbridge.
Coatbridge. I thought you said Cowbridge then. I live in Cowbridge. Right, okay, we'll find out. Coatbridge Smith. Get your Coatbridge Smith and Stonehouse Smith. But, the number 55. That's Haim Ambrose again, getting it all crossed up, coming into Ashby's, but managed to hold on.
Number 34, Ilya Veliko, has caught the attention of the officials. You can see that there with the investigation race control notice. We are on the final lap, by the way. Finlay Lines has had a trouble-free run. He's looking really good so far in this one. Drivers going on to that final lap now. There is your race leader coming down the hill in a moment through to Ashby Hairpin. And this has been a very good performance from Finlay Lines to open up his account. Here's a battle for second place. Luca Holmes-Ballock and Blair Smith fighting for that one. Luca Holmes-Ballock doing really well right now to hold on to this position. Had a good run last year in Micro Max, finished third in the O-Plate 12 months ago. It's going to be a factor here now in Mini-Max. Is there going to be a switch back on there for Blair Smith? No, well defended by Luca Holmes-Ballock to the inside. But it's Finlay Lines who takes victory in the second heat for Mini-Max 950. Luca Holmes-Ballock P2. Blair Smith continuing that strong form from 2023, finishes 8th. Cian Bernard, that's more like it for this year's FIA Academy representative for the United Kingdom in P4. Emerson McAndrew Ewan as well needed that result, Henry,
yes,
after a difficult first race, gets top 5 in Heat 2.
Yes, indeed. Zach Starbuck, Jensen Chalk, Jack Collison, Josh Griffin, Charlie King, Max Gilman and the rest. Alfie Ward, good to see Alfie. Last time I saw Alfie was racing out in Dubai for the Brand Racing team. And again, because there's a relationship with a lot of these teams, you know, they personnel go back and forth across the world. It allows these drivers to literally pack up, put your race suit in your helmet, get on a plane, and then there's a cart and a package and a team waiting for you. It does help. There's first sight of Dan Parker on our screens there. Here we go. Okay, mobile phone of doom. Finlay Lines, A-OK. Luca Holmes-Ballock, A-OK. Emerson McAndrew Uren, A-OK.
Yeah,
now, Stonehouse Smith, A-OK. Jensen Chalk, A-OK. Here we go. And into the audience. Again, that's the most important thing of all, to see the drivers, the handshake between the drivers when they come in. And,
an impressive performance then, I thought, from Finlay Lines.
Yeah, Finlay Lines has now done, this is an absolute 100% fact, and you know I only speak facts. Finlay Lines done more winners' interviews in the last 3 months than his dad did in his entire racing career. Yes.
There you go.
Fact.
Hard facts. More hard facts to come
Stuart.
shortly. End of race number 8 on our schedule. 6 more. Sorry to go. We'll be going back to Junior Rotax shortly for another 2 heats, groups C versus D and A versus E. And after that as well, another 2 from Senior Rotax and another appearance, the 3rd appearance in the heats portion of this year's O-Plate for Minimax 950, with the penultimate race between A and B groups later on. For now, though, let's head once again down to Parc Fermé and to Nicole Sutherland.
So Finlay Hines, race winner there, lights to flag win, as well as a purple lap on your last lap. Can you just explain to us what the race was like?
I mean, it was pretty easy to be fair. I just, at the start, I went into a bit of a bog. Thankfully, got my teammate who pushed me a bit at the start to get my engine back going. But apart from that, I just dropped a gear and disappeared.
So you think you can do the same again for the rest of the weekend?
Hopefully, but I'm feeling very confident.
Yeah, very best of luck. We'll just go to the rest of the pit lane and go and speak with Emerson McAndrew Uren, who's in a great battle with one of his competitors. Emerson, just wondering if we can grab you for a quick interview. You had a great battle going on there with Kian Bernard. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was a great race. In the last couple of laps, me and Kian were obviously battling it out. And on the last lap, it was pretty good. Coming down the hill, I was on the outside and he's just run me out. I don't really know why, because he could have lost a place to his teammate, but still alright. We still got okay finish and we just have to keep trying to do better tomorrow.
Well, very best of luck to you, Emerson. We'll throw back up to the comms box for the next junior Rotax race, but before, just a short message from our partners.
Getting ready then for the next race out on circuit. Race number 9 here for the Saturday of the 2024 British O-Plates. Junior Rotax and groups C and D are out next. Here's a grid then for this next heat. Jacob Ashcroft starts on pole position. Alongside on the front row is Harry Bartle. Jacob Dukes and Joshua Smith start on row 2. And then William Antrobus and Aidan Mitchell start on row 3.
Luca Mogni and Adam Wooden are next. Then Jack Wext, Dole, Justin Cohen, Jack Bacon, Callum Foster, Cameron Nielsen, Noah Barham, Zach Turner. They're all there. Have a look at motorsport-timing.co.uk for the full grid. Over to you, Andrew, rather for the start.
8 minutes plus 1 lap on the board yet again, and through into turn 1 we go then. Jacob Ashcroft, good start. Had some strong race pace here last week in the club meeting. Didn't have the best of luck to through to the final. Was on a good start here in this next heat, looking to get some good points on the board. Down into Ashby they go for the first time. Big defensive move from the number 35, but under attack there. That's Harry Bartle for Strawberry Racing in the 73, going through into second place.
Yes, Harry Bartle, of course, who was at the podium at the Rotax Grand Finals in 2022. At Portimao and moved across to X30 last year, back in the Rotax fold this year. Somebody going very wide, that's a KR Sport driver running very wide. Good to see. And that's 3 drivers. There's an Xspirit chassis, which is a Sam Pollard racing machine. I think that would be, we'll have a check next time by, it's Ayman Bansal, Eli Baden, and possibly Sebastian Lusch. Naomi Garcia has also had a problem. She's down at the back of the field in the number 97. She was the KR Sport driver getting involved, the young girl from Trinidad.
Yeah, it was Cindy and Lusch in trouble there. Lusch out of the race.
Yes.
Not even seeing the end of lap number 1. Not good news for drivers where there is a cut-off, of course, in Junior Rotax once we get towards the finals tomorrow. Only the top 34 of the 67 or 60-odd entries or so
65.
who have 65.
65 entries, incredible. A quick hello to Eddie Stewart Racing on the live chat. Wishing good luck to Rory Armstrong and Jacob Ashcroft, his former sparring partners from the Daniel Ricciardo series. Here's a worrying thing. Eddie Stewart is a very, very talented young commentator. You'll be all right. I'm already nervous. I've got 1 foot out the door already. I've only just got back in.
6 minutes to go in this one. On the attack, that is one of the pro trains, is it not? Yes, it is. The number 56 of Shane Chandaria. That'll be up into the top 10 for Shane, past Joel Dixon Cohen. I had a brief chat with Shane yesterday. He seemed content, happy with his work in those tricky conditions through free practice yesterday, and raring to go for things in the heats.
Shane's from Kenya, so he's come over here. He comes over here from Kenya. He raced, I believe, in the FIA Motorsport Games representing Kenya. Did a round or 2 of the British Championship last year. William Antrobus, there he is in the number 57 kart, just going through Christmas Corner, has set the fastest lap of the race as he tries to chase down Jacob Ashcroft. So Ashcroft, and again, last year, Cole Denham, Jacob Ashcroft and Albie Friends, absolute ambassadors for the sport, especially in Minimax. They've sort of gone their different ways this year. Denham is racing in Europe. Yep. I mean, as in, so does Ashcroft in the Rotax Euro Trophy as the number 92 there. That's learning the hand signals quickly, Jack West. Yeah, that trio of drivers will not meet again on the circuit for some time. Hello.
And a close moment there between the 22 and the 56. That's Barham and Chandaria losing out possibly to Joel Dixon-Cohen as they came over start finish. 4.5 minutes to go. What is the gap looking like at the front? It's coming down, you know. It's down to less than 3/4 of a second.
There's number 55, Eli Baden. And the Kart. Oh, and there's Shane Chandaria getting a little bit off agricultural and going on a, well, I mean, you can go on you've got the West Midlands Safari Park. He was going on a little safari there, was the Kenyan. Now, side by side, and that is one of the CRGs. Is it the Bradley Shepherd Racing? So there's another team that's cropped up with orange and black graphics on their car, just to upset me. And I think that was the Bradley Shepherd Racing car. Harry Hurst Grover in the number 24 Kart. He's one of the X-Kart drivers. Really happy to see the X-Kart. Oh, and there's the number 92, Jack West, getting involved again. And that would be, now we talked about the orange and black graphics kits, the Bradley Shepherd Racing team, and that is Callum Foster. Unfortunately, that is not the way that the Bradley Shepherd Racing wanted to get a nice close-up with their graphics kit.
Yeah, and Callum Foster, who had a tough time in the first race, a tough time here in the second. And that is not good news. Harry Bartle has got good news, though. New fastest lap of the heat so far, 46.61. Really good pace there from Bartle, as who's that having a little bit of trouble going through the final chicane. 3 minutes remaining on the, what was it, Eric Brinsmith, who's lost a few positions in this race, is down to 17th place. Yes, it was. He's lost around 5 places that time around, did the Welsh driver. 2 minutes and 45 remaining. This is the battle involving West, Baker and Baker. That is not a law firm, ladies and gentlemen. It is the fight for 11th place.
Oh, I've spent 2 hours commentating with Andrew Mather, and he just said something funnier than Anthony Jordan managed in 4 years. You can stay. Right. Okay. Ashcroft, 0.6 of a second ahead of Antrobus. This battle on your screen, Antrobus and Bartle. Then a long gap to Jacob Dukes, Adam Woodham. Going through the bottom of your screen there, that's Nelson and Joshua Smith. Then it's Aidan Mitchell, filing our way back. This is the midfield pack. Further back, right at the back of the field, in 23rd place. Watch out, if we can, for the number 97, KR Sports Kart. It's a bit further back from this group. We haven't seen her yet, but we're going to be seeing a lot more of her. Not necessarily this weekend, but in the years to come. Naomi Garcia, a very, very, very talented young lady from Trinidad. She had an off at the start of the race. That's why she's down at the back of the field. She was involved in that incident earlier on that eliminated Sebastian Lusch and Omar Cindy. But yes, as I said, she was almost at the podium at the SCUSA Winter Series at Homestead in Miami in what was wet conditions. Now, in Trinidad and Tobago, and I've managed to drive from Trinidad and Tobago in the past, they do not race in the rain. Because it's simply, when it rains in Trinidad, the drainage isn't great.
And it becomes a lake.
You go from...
You need power boats.
Yes. And of course, it started raining when they were on slick tyres at Homestead, and Naomi Garcia still nearly put it on the podium. Anyway, we digress even further. Ashcroft still leads, minute to go. This is Wittertainment. Tomorrow is entertainment, don't forget.
The gap is coming down again.
Yes.
Still, it's down to 0.53 of a second. Antrobus and Bartle. Bartle, another new fastest lap of the heat, and he's quite content right now to just sit there behind the Sam Pollitt Racing number 57. Because they've still got a chance here with the time remaining on the clock. Leaders coming down and through Ashby now. We can tell by our tracking. As here is this is Nelson and Woodland Smith, 5th, 6th, 7th at the moment. don't think they're really going to have enough pace or time, really, to catch up to Jacob Jukes, who's having a good run there in 4th place. This is the fight for the lead. That is a lot less than half a second now, as Antrobus has picked the pace up and closed into, what would you say, Henry?
About 2 kart lengths.
Yeah, 2 kart lengths here. We're going to go. This is going to be close on the line. We're going to go around again.
Yeah,
2 more laps.
That's the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's the battle for the race lead.
Which apologies.
Still, no. It's quite all right, Anthony. Only joking. No, Ashcroft still leads by, and I've got to say, Jacob Ashcroft using my old race number. Bless him, 82. If you look back in the late 1990s, there was a really dashing fast Welshman.
Down the inside, Bartle on Antrobus has decided now is the time to go. Has he got too much to do, though, to close up to Ashcroft on this last lap? 0.9 of a second through the new final chicane. Jacob Ashcroft looking calm at the wheel of his DHR number 82. There is the last lap board. There is the change confirmed for 2nd place. And a new fastest lap of the race. I felt that might be coming from Jacob Ashcroft, that he's just been pacing this race nicely, not letting himself fall into the clutches of Bartle and Antrobus, holding that pace back for later in the race.
And Bartle having to defend. Antrobus sending it up the inside into Ashby's. He stands on the anchors, gets the position. Bartle looks up back inside into Wilkins, wheel to wheel, up over the curb. Great move. There was about an inch between the 2 sets of rear tyres there, but both drivers managed to get through without making contact. Now Bartle has to defend. The good news for Bartle is he's got 1 fewer corners to defend in terms of an overtake, because even though there's an extra corner, it's virtually impossible to pass the new final corner as the checkered flag comes out and Jacob Ashcroft takes the win. The key thing is that when you're leading a race, when you're young, what's the first, as you get closer and closer to the end of the race, what starts going through your mind? Nerves. And then you back up or you make mistakes. Ashcroft is now, in that pressure situation, he simply goes quicker and sets fastest lap of the race. That's a really significant development of every young driver.
It's one of those, was it Jackie Stewart back in the day who said what a great skill is winning a race as slowly as possible?
In reserve. Yes.
Alan
Prost was another one.
New lap record there for
Barry
Jacob Ashcroft.
Official
He's
word.
Improved it.
Barry Ashcroft said if Jacob Ashcroft set a new lap record, he would give him £100.
There we go. That's an £100 lap. 46. But he actually set the record twice in that race. Is that £200?
For Jacob Ashcroft, a double lap record holder. Barry Ashcroft, what a generous guy. What a wonderful man he is there, giving his son £200 for breaking the lap record twice in one race.
He'll thank us for that. So 2.72 seconds was the gap for Ashcroft ahead of Bartle. William Antrobus 3rd, Jacob Jukes in 4th, Cameron Nelson 5th. As the junior Rotax drivers come back in. There is one more appearance for junior Rotax today. It'll be groups B and C racing at 5:30 local time here in the UK before we have the Super Heats tomorrow. And we should remember, I'm going to say it now.
I was going to say exactly the same thing.
Clocks change tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're all going to lose an hour of sleep, but it's okay because we're going to be woken up by fantastic action here for the O-Plate at Whilton Mill.
I need all the beauty sleep I can get. Tell you.
So do remember that
shocking.
with
even worse.
Ashcroft and Bartle, Antrobus, Jukes, Nelson in the top 5. Wooden, Joshua Smith, Aidan Mitchell, Joel Dixon Cohen and Noah Barham in the top 10. Good try from Benjamin Baker.
There's the number 97. So it's their first time in the UK running with the KR Sport team, and it'll be great. I mean, hang on. That is Eric Bryn Smith. Eric Bryn.
Yes, we'll head down to Park Ferme once again. I believe Nicole Sutherland has race winner Jacob Ashcroft.
£200 richer, amazing.
Junior Rotax Heat winner number 82, Jacob Ashcroft. Jacob, you're one of the younger drivers in this grid this year. You've just recently moved up from a mini class. How have you found the change?
I found the change quite difficult at the start, and then after a lot of practicing, I got used to junior and found a lot of speed.
Yeah, that's great. And you had a big win recently out in Spain. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, in Campos Winter Cup, I managed to win in Spain by beating Tom Strele from Latvia, and it was a really good win for my career. and yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And what are your expectations and your goals for the rest of the year?
Well, I want to win as many races as possible, hopefully a few championships, and get to the World Finals in junior this year.
That's great. We'll speak to you a bit later on, probably, Jacob. We'll throw back up to Henry and Andrew, but before, we'll hear a little bit from our sponsors. Thank you very much, Nicole. Thank you for support as ever from the championship sponsors. Getting for the next ready for the next race. Got ahead of myself earlier because out on circuit now. It's junior Rotax groups A and E. Here is your grid for it. Thomas Min Spearing and Lewis Goff on the front row. Kenzo Craigie and Lucas Blanford row 2. Albie Lapper and Charlie Neve on row 3.
Zach Green, Kai Clark, Aris Majewski's Charlie Cox round out your top 10 with Finley Buck and Kaczmar Tomilewski rounding out your first 6 rows of the grid.
Hugh Moulton and Victor Hansen go from row 7. Emily Cotti and Ryan Gandour go from row 8. Owen Neve and Matteo Palazzo start on row 9.
William Archer, Rory Armstrong after his incident in the first race. John Richardson, Isabella Stanswell-Wilson, hope she's okay. Vlad Tomenchuk and Elliot Surtees.
And completing the 25 runners in this one, Jake Grufferty for Hunter Motorsport.
And I'm just checking, yes, both Armstrong and Isabella Stanswell-Wilson are out there after their respective issues in race number 1.
Good stuff indeed. Drivers will use the old layouts here to get ready for the start of this one. And once again, it'll be 8 laps plus 1 lap for Junior Rotax. Here we go then, race 10, heat number 4 for the juniors. And no, we're going to go around again, Henry, for another formation lap.
Now, of course, so this would be, is this the last heat for the juniors today, yes?
Last but one.
Last but one, okay, so intermediate classifications. Now, this at the moment, so Thomas Min Spearing, he won the opening heat race.
Yep.
Ashcroft, so he's got 0 points. Ashcroft has got 0 points, and Lewis Goff has got 0 points. You get 0 points. This is not championship points, this is just heat points. You get 0 points for a win, a heat win in karting. 2 points coming second, 3 points coming third, and so on and so on. So at the moment, a 3-way tie with nil points, which is good, because this is not Eurovision, for Thomas Min Spearing, Jacob Ashcroft, and Lewis Goff. Harrison Whitcomb has 2 points. That's good. And 3, tree from Waving Welsh, for Freeman, Antrobus, and then Barthel and Dukes on 4.
Ready then for the second run through the start line. Let's see if we're good for a green light in this one. The pace rising. Do the lights go green? No, they do not. They stay with the flashing amber lights.
If anyone's wondering why, okay, so there's obviously certain rules and regulation with starting and karting. Number 1, the pace cannot be too quick. You can't just take it, and of course with this slow last corner, there will be a line that the drivers will have been told, oh dear, and that would be the number 53 kart of Zach Green in trouble. Now, there will be a line that the race directors will have told the drivers, I do not want you accelerating until you pass this line. And even then, you bring the speed up gradually. You cannot just come out of the final corner and boot it, because that would then disadvantage the drivers at the back of the grid. And also, it makes the last thing you want is for 25 drivers, 34 in the final, heading off into turn 1, into Crook and Oblivion. It's Crook and Oblivion, isn't it? A flat chat side by side.
And you want that parity as well, across the front row as well. That's what Nigel Edwards and his team out there on circuit will be looking for. Drivers need to get this right, though, because they're... Oh, now
no.
Kenzo Craigie's out.
Oh.
And we are good to go this time. Green lights, 8 minutes begin. And, well, already we've lost 2 of the potential front runners in this one. Thomas Min Spearing heads up to Christmas Corner. Can he get a second heat win of the day? That's going to be a big slide for the number 72. That's Majauskis. Aris Majauskis did very well there to hold on to that slide. He has lost position, but he's still in the race.
Now, leading the race, the Argenti Motorsport number 10 of Thomas Min Spearing. There were 3 Argenti karts starting in the top 8. 2 of them went out before the start. So Thomas Min Spearing is somewhat nervously leading this race, I would imagine.
With another one of the Argentis is coming into play, though. Emily Cotty's had a very good start in the number 42. There is Kenzo Craigie. Just at the point where it felt like, last year there was so many ups but also downs for Kenzo Craigie, looking for that consistency. He's had a really good run in Europe the last few weeks, but it's just not how he would have wanted to start his O-plate this weekend.
These are kids, and you hate to say the word pressure, but obviously he is part of the Mercedes Formula One Young Driver program. Last year, it was a learning year, and everyone knew that. He was straight out of Honda cadet into junior Rotax, so it was like this year now, there is a little bit of added pressure on him. Whether anyone would miss it or not, there is. You know, he has to perform. He's been performing, but bad luck cannot
keeps finding him.
Cannot keep finding him, sadly.
So 6.5 minutes to go, then end of lap number 2. Spearing from Goff, Blanford, Lapper, Clark. That is your top 5. On the move, Kasper Tomaszewski is up to 7th place. A gain of 5. Victor Hansen has also gained 5 so far in this one. Needs a good run for Strawberry Racing here. Is up to 9th place with that move past Hugh Moulton on the previous lap. Quick sight there of Isabella Stansmore Wilson in number 88. Good to see Isabella back out there after the incident earlier on this afternoon. But back at the front of the order, Henry, Spearing and Goff, 2 drivers at the moment, both started this race, both on 0 points. Both have a race win, but such is the way this system works. They can't both stay on 0 points at the end of this one.
No, but again, a first and a second, they're being very, very smart at the moment. Lucas Blanford, really impressive from Lucas Blanford. He started 3rd, driving for the Ultimate R team. That's Matty and Ben Hingley's team. Ben Hingley was here last weekend with a couple of drivers, getting experience in the circuit. Matty, younger brother, was at Glenagorse, his home track, with a bunch of other drivers in the Ultimate R team. And I have to say, very, very impressive. The one driver there for the Ultimate R team took a win, Daniel Hartley. There's another name, a junior driver. And it's a shame that he's not out here, because I think that even though he doesn't compete regularly in the British Championship, I think Daniel Hartley is definitely a driver who could compete at this level. And the Ultimate R team, again, growing as a team. They're part of that sort of, and I hate using this, but I'm going to use it, it's that second tier of teams. Second, third tier of teams that are just trying to break in to become one of the powerhouses. And when I say powerhouses, I'm talking Strawberry, Dan Holland, KR, and then Coles, probably, the big 4, as it were.
Like a football record.
Well, I'm going to upset everyone else in the paddock now that I haven't mentioned, but it's just fact, and I love them all, but there's that, there is that establishment, and then there's the next group of teams that are trying to get that one winning driver to get up there. To Argenti have done it. Argenti have done it, of course, with Dan Ginchard. They're now trying to do it again with and Morgan Porter. But yes, so Ultimate R, another team, a very, very good team based in Abergele, North Wales. Min Spearing, half a second in front of Lewis Goff, and that's going to go up because he has just set the fastest lap of the race.
Has indeed. A little bit of a look there from Charlie Cox, the number 12, up into Christmas Corner. On the number 76, down the inside. Loving that move from William Archer, and he makes it stick.
Well, so that's
bold on the brakes.
Paul Offord will be happy.
From William Archer. That should be Archer back up into the top 15. Another one of the runners with Hunter Motorsport this weekend.
Paul Offord on the live chat will be very happy with that. He was supporting Will Archer, saying, come on, Will Archer. Well, Will heard you and went for it. That gained him a place. Rory Armstrong still down in 17th, again moving up out of mini into junior. And now this is where the change in regulation last year to move from Minimax, which was on the full 1050mm chassis, they moved the Minimax down to the 950mm chassis. So the drivers moving out of Mini into Junior, by and large, we've just seen Jacob Ashcroft win, it's a bigger jump up from them because they've got to deal with a bigger chassis. They have indeed. They've got a lot of dynamics to get the heads around. But many of our drivers doing that very well here this weekend. Investigation notification from race control for the number 37 of Jake Gruffity. Been a difficult race for Gruffity so far here. 15 seconds off the back of the main group. So that's further not good news for the driver of the number 37. 3 retirements from this race. Remember, Elliot Surtees, Kenzo Craigie and Zach Green. Well, effectively, it's for the two Argentis, they didn't even see the start of this one. New fastest lap of the race for Charlie Cox. As meanwhile, on the attack, Kai Clark, then the number 76 down the inside of Albi Lapper for 6th place. The textbook Christmas move. Yes, and you know, made it, get up the inside and then, you know, don't allow them to cross over, and so, you know, and don't lose too much time, because you can make a move into Christmas without losing time. Going into Ashby's, it's much harder to make a move without losing time to the drivers in front. 5-second penalty for... well, that's not so good news for Kai Clark after that great move. Has now got a 5-second penalty for his troubles, but at least a bit of clear air for him now, Henry, to try and break away. 1:40 remaining on the clock. Another 3 laps or so. Let's see how far he can make it up the road. At the moment, Clark would drop down to around, I think, 14th place. And now he's in even more trouble because he's been overtaken. And of course, yes, it's not about losing positions on the track. It's losing time. He's got the number 12 Kart of Charlie Cox directly behind him for Coles Racing. Hugh Moulton is there as well, the number 51. And behind Moulton, it's Victor Hansen. Hansen retired from his first race, so, you know, a top 10 here would give him half a chance of making it out of the superheats, because we will lose half of the junior drivers at the end of the superheats. We will indeed. All those superheats you'll be able to follow on your platform of choice, wherever you're watching us from. We'll be back again tomorrow as new fastest lap of the heat. It is Thomas Min Spearing, 46.33 is down the inside there. That's a move from the number 21 of Victor Hansen, getting past Hugh Moulton for 9th place. Moulton having a little think about going back down the inside, but withdraws from that one, particularly as the number 72 of Aris Miauskas, who had that problem early on in this race, right there on his tail. Now, you think about how much rain we've had in the UK, but look already, the Mojo and Vega rubber being used by Micromax is being laid down. One thing there, is that mud on? I think it's actually a little bit of abrasion of the carts coming off the curb and landing back down. So that's actually like chipping away at the top. Oh, wow. That's but again, now coming up the straight here, there's a camera angle from behind the cart, as Owen Neve gets a warning. When you look you've got a camera angle going up, just following the carts up the straight towards Christmas Corner, and you can see the different colour of tarmac. It's not different tarmac, that's the rubber that's been laid down the braking zone. But of course, every time it rains, it washes that rubber, the residual rubber, away. And it just shows how quickly the rubber comes back. And that's mostly today, because yesterday that's just today. It was a day where Daventry's weather could not make its mind up. Okay. It was wet, not wet, wet, not wet. It would rain for 30 seconds. So, I mean, mechanics' nightmare. They'll have got the step count up yesterday. Well, I have to say, so last weekend I was at Glenagorse, and Joe Bradley, who's here, will ascertain this. We had snow, hail, rain, sun, and cloud. Or, as we say in Wales, Saturday. Final lap board is out then. Thomas Min Spearing on the way to a second race victory of the heats this afternoon. Good defence from the number 21 of Victor Hansen, trying to hold on to this 9th place ahead of Moulton and Miauskis. The race leader coming into the final couple of corners now. Hansen doing a great job there. That's normally where drivers succumb to pressure from behind. Mechanical failure flag for the number 16 of Matteo Palazzo. Checkered flag is out for Thomas Min Spearing. Takes the win ahead of Lewis Goff. Lewis Blanford changed for 4th place on the last lap there as well, as Kasper Tomaszewski gets past Charlie Neve. Kai Clark 6th, but remember has that 5-second penalty to be applied. Charlie Cox, Albi Lapper and Victor Hansen did hold on there for 9th place ahead of Moulton and Miauskas. They're within
5 seconds of Kai Clark, so they'll all move up a position once that penalty has been applied. Owen Neve had a couple of issues, I think, there in the second half of the race. Finishes a bit further back in 12th ahead of Archer and Palazzo. But for Thomas Min-Spearing, that is the kind of performance that will please Argenti Motorsports. 2 from 2. The only driver in Junior Rotax who remains with a perfect 0 score at the end of that one. That's 4 heats down of the 5 in total. Lewis Goff will be second in the points now with that second place. Bartle and Smith third and fourth on the 4 and 10 respectively. Charlie Neve is fifth in the points now on 10, as is Wooden as well. So a 3-way tie at the moment there on 10 points. Blanford and Lapper completing the top 8. All of that information available to you at home. If you've got a second device, go across to the British Kart Championships website for your access to live timing. There is a rather, well, it's a Hunter Motorsport number 33 needing some work, Henry.
That would be a rearranged, that would be Elliot Surtees. Yes, and Elliot Surtees, who went out on the opening lap, and as you can see, he was not alone. But here's a great shot, you know. Oh, hello.
Dear.
And that Kart's a lively one. It hasn't done any laps, so it wants to get off the trolley and carry on. Good help from the marshal there. And of course, you know, there's Kenzo Craigie.
A big thanks to our marshals as always.
As always,
our volunteers
yes.
here at Whilton Mill. Could not go racing without them. We'll go to, well, a few moments. We'll be back with the next race out on circuit. It'll be Senior Rotax taking to the track, Groups A and D coming right up. Let's have a look through the grid for race number 11, heat 3 for Senior Rotax. Kai Hunter has pole position. Lewis Gilbert on the front row as well. Tyler Harrison, Joshua Graham, row 2. Ben Folland and Morgan Porter on row 3.
Row 4, Caden McQueen and Brandon Klein-Nagelvort. Lucas Ellingham and Ewan Charman round out your top 10. Sam Baker and Jamie Perilli are on row number 6.
In the midfield, Spencer Braum and Alex Moody go from row 7. Ralph Youngling and Ethan Ling on row number 8. John Brown and Ollie Goodyear start on row 9.
A trio of CRGs on the same screen. William Pemble and Lucas Schlegel. Benjamin Southgate, Jack Collins, Rhys Bailey and Liam Hartley.
Continuing the rest of the order with work to do from row 13. Max Taylor and Jugas Pravilonis. Willoughby Steele and Les Taylor go from row 14, and it's George Hunter completing the field of this one. In fact, no, it's not, because Ava Anagnostiadis should also be out in this race, but isn't.
Well, or
is
she?
On timing.
No. I thought they just left her off because she had too many letters in her surname, but obviously there's a problem with Ava Agnastiostis. Did I say that right? No. Close with a cigar. The brother is also racing.
Yeah, brother James racing for Prema Racing. So in that same ladder that we were talking about with Argenti and Kenzo, so he's teammates with Kenzo Craigie last weekend in the FIA Karting Championships in Valencia.
Ah, marvellous. Ah, yes, Valencia. Very good, very good.
Considerably warmer.
Yes, and in Anthony Jordan's ChatGPT inspired intro clip, did he mention that the history about the river of Valencia, the reason why there's a riverbed running through the main city of Valencia?
No, he talked about the La Fires festival recently.
I'll learn him. Right, Kai Hunter and the number 4 of Lewis Gilbert, Tyler Harris. There he is on that black and it just doesn't look the same for MLC Motorsport, but if he keeps it at the front, he's got the pink on the rear bumper. That's how you spot the number 84 of Tyler Harris. Up the hill we go towards Grisco. There's the camera shot. Look at on the outside line. It looks slippery. It almost looks like an oil slick. It's not. It's just rubber. Build-up of Mojo rubber. As a Hunter under pressure from Gilbert, and look at that. It's like a multicoloured cornucopia of karts. I absolutely love it.
Is indeed. 7 minutes and 30 remaining on the clock. Still very early stages of this one. If you're just joining us, it's Kai Hunter, 3-time senior Rotax O-Plate champion, 3 years of the last 4. The only driver to break that run is also out there, Lewis Gilbert, the 2021 O-Plate winner. And it's those two at the front of the order. Joshua Graham having a quiet weekend so far, but this is his first one moving into the KR Sport awning. We'll be happy with third place. It's down the inside. Gilbert on Hunter, through and into the lead. Harris likewise on Joshua Graham. Well, this is an interesting point now. What has Kai Hunter got in response? It's only the heat still, Henry, but that is a good statement from Lewis Gilbert to say, no, you are not going to have everything your own way this weekend, Mr. Hunter.
Well, yeah, and of course, Lewis and Kai, they have raced neck and neck, nose to tail, numerous times. Generally, they got on very well. There's obviously, whenever you race against another driver all over the country and you're very evenly matched, there are going to be times where you have a difference of opinion. And I'm sure these two have, but generally they know each other very well. They get on very well. They trust each other to race properly, and so that's the key thing. They know that, okay, Kai Hunter will be thinking now, my main goal is to try and push Lewis away from Tyler and from Ben and from Josh Graham and from Caden McQueen. So why do I have to try and scrap back and forth, battle back and forth? And I've got to say, these teams, they don't miss a trick. No. So you've got the orange little ends of the rear bumpers for the orange liveried sort of Hunter Motorsport car. You've got the blue Motorsport Craft liveried, and you've got the pink for Tyler Harris, just because.
Well, there's the new feature, the rear wheel protection, newly homologated to aid the efficient. Oh, it's off there. That is Willoughby Steele, is it not?
Yes, another TKM
in
convert.
The number 23 is wrestling down the inside
Morgan
Porter on Brandon Klein Nagelvort, and I think Lucas Ellingham's also having a go. That's not good news for Lucas Ellingham, who had problems in race number 1. But for Morgan Porter, that is the end of the race. Damage to the radiator on the right-hand side of the kart. What a shame.
We just saw one Hunter Motorsport kart coming back to the paddock with NASA panel ripped off. And I hope the Carlos Sites branding manufacturers, I hope they brought a lot of NASA panels with them, because that is, not a quick fix. Suboptimal. Yes. Thank you, Anthony.
4 minutes and 40 seconds and counting. Gilbert leads Hunter 0.3 of a second back. Tyler Ritchie Harris is there in third place. The new fastest lap of the race so far. Here they are coming down the back straight towards the entry to the boot, the part of the boot that is unchanged for 2024 in terms of its layout, but very much changed in terms of how the drivers approach it. Those moves that we would have seen into the final bend previously, they're going to have to start thinking about getting those last lap moves probably on the toe of the boot now.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we've had one full race weekend, and now this one. Has the circuit change resulted in less or more overtaking?
I think the question's still out on that one.
It's resulted in less high-speed crashing, which is undoubtedly the safety aspect of it is the reason why it was done. But yeah, as you were saying, in years past, then you would have had drivers sending them at the inside going into boot 2 and then trying the undercut coming out of this corner. So in that respect, I think it's probably reduced the amount of overtaking, but it's, they just found somewhere else to crash and do damage.
3 minutes and 20 remaining. Kai Hunter took a huge amount of curb through the final chicane that time around. I think he was pretty much airborne as he went towards the final bend, but still very quick. 45.54, new fastest lap of the race for Caden McQueen. You just see there, is still in his old YRDA suit, fourth in line, racing for KR Sport this year after 7 years with Croc Promotion, and he's down the inside now. How many times over the years have we seen Caden McQueen pull that move? Lovely stuff past Harris for third place. Will now set about trying to catch up to Hunter and Gilbert ahead through the final chicane once again. Who's improving at the moment? Ewan Sharman, Sam Baker, Jamie Pirelli, all up 2 spots so far in this race. Spencer Brom is also up 2 spots. Ethan Ling, another one of the CRGs, improving. It's up 3 spots to 13th. Move there from the 81, is it not, Ben Folland? This is a good response. A difficult start to the first race for Ben Folland, but he's been on it since then.
Yeah, so here we go, case in point. KR Sport, MLC Motorsport, Thule Motorsport. Pick a graphics kit, anyone. I'm going to make myself exceptionally unpopular. But, there's Caden McQueen.
You can ask him in the paddock show later.
But yeah, the paddock show, yes. Everyone will greet me warmly round the neck when I do the paddock show later with you all. But there's McQueen now pulling away from Harris. And then behind Harris, it's Folland and Graham. This is the battle. This is now the battle for the race lead. So you can see the tactic. Hunter didn't challenge. He didn't try. Oh, and up the inside goes the number 81, Ben Folland. Good move there for Ben Folland. Down the hill. Now here comes the 88 of Joshua Graham. He makes the move. So Harris has lost a couple of positions. Up into the top 10, Spencer Brawl for the CRG Privateer team. I have seen Nathan Chafer here, who is the importer of the CRG brand in the UK, and he's got 3 karts out there. They're all in this race, and they're all still in this race. Let's have a look there. Where Ethan Ling is up to 13th, Spencer Braum is 10th, and Ollie Goodyear's 17th.
So all in the top 20 at the moment. 2 leaders still working together, trying to make sure that they've got enough of a gap over Caden McQueen once they get onto the final lap to have a bit of a fight, because the key in here is this could decide who leads the intermediate classification. That is Les Taylor coming into the pits in the number 47 Craft Motorsport machine out of this race. That's going to be an unwanted big score for Les Taylor in the intermediate classification. Still races to go, of course, Henry, in this one, but it's one of those situations with the points. Gilbert and Hunter right now both started this race with 0, so effectively whichever one of them finishes up higher in this race, that will decide the battle between those 2 ahead of the superheats tomorrow.
Yes, and that was a very unimpressed looking Morgan Porter spectating from the sidelines, probably waiting to sort of conjuring up what I'm going to say to the driver that I collided with, Mr. Ellingham, when I see him in the pits, and trying to choose his words very carefully, bearing in mind there could be a camera and a microphone nearby.
Absolutely.
Now, the clock has struck 0. Now you can see Lewis Gilbert looking over his shoulder. Oh, and there's the number 23 coming in, Willoughby Steele for the Precision Racing team. Right, 1 lap to go. Now Kai Hunter is going to start turning the screw ever so slightly. Whether he'll go full sort of lunge mode, this is only a heat, not a superheat or a final. However, he will want to take the win. He wants to win as often as much as possible. Oh, and there is Ewan Charman off the side of the circuit, and he looked as though he was a bit out of puff there. I wonder if that's hit a curb and he's bounced off a tyre and he just winded himself a little bit.
Well, Ewan Charman, it's great to see him back in action this weekend. Had some difficulties in Europe a few weeks ago. So hopefully he's okay out there. Is there going to be a move here from Kai Hunter? No, not in today. Great positioning from Lewis Gilbert. Just came across to the right a little bit to secure this one. Big curb hop from Hunter around the final corner.
Wow.
It's going to be Lewis Gilbert who makes it 2 from 2 ahead of Kai Hunter. Key victory. Yes, still only in the heats, but a beautiful drive there from the 2021 O-Plate winner. That's the kind of thing he's going to need if he's going to reclaim this title this weekend.
And I want to have another look at Kai Hunter over this curb. Let's have a look. He sets the kart up. There's no way he can overtake. Let's just commit, and it's 4 wheels off, and he catches it wonderfully and hooks the inside wheel on the curb. That's probably the fastest way around that corner. That was beautiful, I have to say. That was full commitment, land, inside right wheel on the curb, landed in such a position so that it changed the direction of the kart, and he keeps the back end pinned as well. Wonderful.
Absolutely mega. Caden McQueen home in 3rd, Ben Folland, good response there in 4th place. All good on the front fairing checks for the top 3. They'll head into post-race scrutineering, have the weights checked, of course. And, well, for those 2 groups, that, of course, being groups A and D, that's them done for the day. B and C to follow up, of course, shortly. Who else gained well in that one? Jamie Pirelli. Good to see Jamie back out on circuit Henry, and up 4 places in that one to 8th place.
Yeah, you know, Jamie's dad Simon last year putting up, you know, the post that every karting father either dreads or can't wait to post, you know. Sadly, our time in karting has come to an end. Jamie's moving on to different things. Yeah, 6 months later, we're back in the paddock, in a wagon, spending money again. Just the most addictive drug there is, this sport.
Jack Collins as well, we should give a good shout out to, up 8 spots in that race to 14th. These are all kinds of performances that giving drivers hope of qualifying through to the top 34. That is the aim for these drivers to get in that final tomorrow. Let's hear from some of them now. Let's head down to Parc Ferme. Caden McQueen is speaking to Nicole Sutherland.
So down here in the pit lane with Caden McQueen, race finished 3rd. Caden, thoughts on the race for you then?
Yeah, we had the speed at the start. We didn't really have a good start, fell back a few places. We come back through really well. Unfortunately, towards the end, I could feel the chain was a bit loose, so I was just trying to be as careful as possible just to bring it home really and finish the race.
And in events like this, I think a lot of us are aware you've got to be consistently there. One slip down the grid can cost you a lot of places. So would you say it's tactical to kind of stand back from the leaders and stay out of trouble?
Yeah, for sure. Points are everything, especially when you come to a race like this. I think there's going to be, because it's a one-off race, everyone gives it their all. They don't think about championship points or anything like that. They just want to, you know, go for it. So to stay out of trouble and make sure you're starting at the front for the final, I think that's the most important bit.
That's great. Enjoy the rest of your day, Caden. Thank you. We'll go back up to the comms box for the next senior Rotax race.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Indeed. So let's head out onto the circuit. Next drivers out for their next heat are Groups B and C for senior Rotax. That's coming right up. Last of the heats for senior Rotax, and it's Cian Geraghty who has pole position for it. Jack Lilly alongside on the front row, Matthew Higgins and Super Ted. Teddy Pritchard-Williams on row 2, Macaulay Bishop and Reg Hayward on row 3.
Gustav Usakovs, Lorenzo Cordal are on row 4. Alex Cole, Deacon Russell, Neil Clark and Guy Cunnington, your top 12.
Ethan Martin and Gabe Fairbrother on row 7. Tristan Rennie and Luke Bates on row 8. Sam Longley and Christoph Saller start on row 9.
Rounding at the top 20 of Angus Scrivener and Archie Buttle, then Ramiron Ubi, Stefan Kazmarzik, Jack Gillingham, Arthur Thacker. This is Jack's first year in karting, first full year in karting. Last year was, sorry.
Doing a really good job. Joshua Rudd and Alex Duncan on row 13. Yannick Jacobs and Matthew Lambert go from row 14. Caitlin Seabrook and Gemma Hyans go on the 15th row of the grid. As you say, this is the last heat for senior Rotax, so the results that we've had so far, plus the one to come, will decide who starts where for the Super Heats tomorrow. Off we go, 8 minutes plus 1 lap. Good start for Geraghty from pole position. Jack Lilly trying to hold in there for P2, heading up towards Christmas corner for the first time, and you can tell straight away, Henry, it's the last heat for all of these drivers. They know what the results have been so far, and it's already getting a little bit feisty out there.
So this is either going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be an excellent race with drivers using their heads as we lose one, Arthur Thacker goes for a spin, or it's going to descend into junior Rotax. I mean, yeah. But I mean, so yeah, there's desperation, but and there's one Strawberry Racing driver running wide. But of course, if the drivers use their head, you know, there could be some excellent racing here. But of course, if you've had one bad heat, you know, you've got the super heat as well. If you've had one bad heat, do you just consolidate and have faith in your own ability to say, okay, I'm going to have to gain places in the super heat, lots of places to get myself in the final, you know, so I'm just going to see what comes my way, pick up places as and when. There's the Neil Clark getting moved aside, shall we say, and there's the number 89, because of course, and there's the problem. I was about to say, and that's not good. The driver's just getting out of the way there. That's Lorenzo Cordal and Deacon Russell, both of whom start in the top 10. There's the problem. If you've had one bad heat and you get desperate, you run the risk of making a mistake, getting involved in an incident, and then you've got two bad heats. Then your goose is cooked. What a camera shot! Hello! There's a photo of John Cleland going over the curves at Dingle Dell at Brands Hatch in 1996 in a Vauxhall Cavalier. That is instantly like that. That is karting's version of, that's incredible.
We're going
to have a slow-mo replay of that.
I've been working with these guys a long time. I don't think I've ever heard a reaction like that from the gallery behind me.
But
6 minutes to go in
this
one.
There was a few years ago, but that was about something about Diana Westbrook. I can't go into that. Can't mention that again. But yeah, we're going to have a slow-motion replay of that. That is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic.
So, there's a race going on, and Matthew Higgins is in the lead of it. He's got ahead of Jack Lilly. Where has Cian Geraghty gone down to? He's gone down to 6th place in this one. So he's still part of that main pack at the front of the order, but the race pace for Cian not quite there so far today. I think you're absolutely right with the shapes there on the heats. There is a greater weighting for the super heats tomorrow in terms of the IC points. It's basically all the points get times by 2. But you don't want to leave yourself with too much to do in those super heats tomorrow just to make the top 34 for Sunday's final. That's a nice move. That's Uzakov's down the inside of Reg Hayward for 5th place. Nicely constructed there in the number 89. Another driver who needs to be a good one. But you don't want to overdrive too much in this second heat.
And that was Guy Cunnington, not overdriving, but just doing just enough to move into 7th position ahead of Reg Hayward. I feel that with that slow motion replay, I feel a really sexy Instagram reel coming on about that, as you've had a change up at the front. Super Ted leads the way.
Really good stuff from Teddy Pritchard-Williams is into the pits. That was the number 28 retiring, was it not? We'll catch up with that in a moment. One thing we didn't touch on, Henry, in the heat, I think there's another reason why Kai Hunter was probably just holding a little bit back in that last race. Yes, he's second in the IC, but that bags in pole position for one of the super heats tomorrow. So it's that case of if he can win his super heat and Gilbert has a problem, he gets pole for the final.
Yes, indeed.
So that's a key thing that we should point out. Provisional results we should stress, though, at this stage. Back at the front, though, in the last heat for senior Rotax, Teddy Pritchard-Williams leads by 0.2 of a second ahead of Matthew Higgins. That is a bold one down the inside. That is the 75 of Ethan Martin, trying to regain position on Tristan Rennie for P9. Macaulay Bishop joining this battle as well, Henry. Last year's junior O-Plate winner in junior Rotax. Down the inside. Lovely stuff from the number 33 of Jack Lilly. I think that surprised Cian Geraghty a bit there. He's lost more than one position in all of that. He's down to 8th.
Just all the dust that come offline there. Now, here we go again. This is, fantastic camera work there. Now, again, like all commentators, you don't have favourites.
No.
And I don't want to be accused of having a favourite. I really want Teddy Pritchard-Williams to win this race. Why? Well, I've known him a long time. And last year at Kimbolton, running through the top 10, and there was national, international champions, European champions, grand finals winner, all starting in the top 10, and Higgins has taken it. Curse the commentator again, only have to talk about Teddy Pritchard-Williams winning, and Matthew Higgins passes him. However, and all I had to say about Teddy Pritchard-Williams at the time was that he supported Aston Villa. Now I can say that he's a British Championship podium finisher, and I would also say that he is, has won a race, because you think about this. Who has sat in that Strawberry Racing seat in the British Championship the last 2 years? Kimber, Bradshaw, world champions. Now Teddy Pritchard-Williams, who has got the lead back. Now Teddy Pritchard-Williams. This is the season where you can prove, am I just a talented but likeable underdog who's always there or thereabouts, or am I an actual champion?
Well, we spoke to him yesterday in the Friday Paddock Show when we asked him what is it like to drive for Strawberry Racing. His face absolutely lit up. He's delighted for driving for this team this year. Still got a bit of work to do in this one. Just under 2 minutes remaining on the clock. There is a mechanical flag you can see there for the number 66, which I'll leave to you, Henry, to work out who that is.
Jack
Gillingham in 21st place.
He's defending.
Defending now is Pritchard-Williams. That's why the number 66 has got the meatball flag. Loose NASA panel on the front of his kart. Change for second.
Okay, yes.
Now, Macaulay Bishop has gone through, past his teammate Matthew Higgins. We said at the top of the show, Kai Hunter moving on, very much. Matthew Higgins now the lead driver, you would think, based on last year. I think Macaulay Bishop's got something to say about that. He said, well, I won everything there is to win in juniors. I'm here now in seniors, and this is what I can do.
Macaulay Bishop is not one for letting the grass grow under his feet when it comes to overtaking. If he spots an opportunity, he will go for it. Of course, that's worked wonders for him all the way up until seniors. Now he's racing. Don't forget, Matthew Higgins was, well, Teddy Pritchard Williams was driving in senior Rotax the year that Macaulay Bishop won the British Cadet IARMY Championship. That same year, Matthew Higgins was winning the junior Rotax British Championship and moving into senior. So Macaulay is now racing, and of course, as you go up to the classes, you generally race against the same kids. If a kid moves up a year ahead of you, it's only a year, and then you're back with them. Now, he is racing against drivers that have been in this class 5-6 years. And even a driver of Macaulay's talent will find it a little bit difficult, more difficult, because you can't just, you know, I'm sure he's going to try coming into senior, but you cannot always just pull it behind someone and go straight for them, because they will not like that. And yeah, it's going to be, this is probably the stiffest learning curve that Bishop has faced.
It will be indeed. Matthew Higgins has gone back through there with that move through Christmas Corner. Moving up through the field, Matthew Lambert's having a strong run, has gained 13 places in this one, is up into the top 15. Time has expired. The next time round, they'll see the last lap board. Teddy Pritchard Williams is 1 lap away from a race victory, a big race victory for Strawberry Racing. He has 0.4 of a second ahead of Higgins and Bishop. The two DHRs have got to work together, and I don't think they can, Henry. Bishop's fallen back a bit from Higgins, and it's now all down to last year's runner-up in the Senior Rotax British Kart Championship to see if he can wrestle this win away from his fellow Welshman.
Well, let's see. Well, I mean, Teddy Pritchard, he's Welsh as far as the fact that he's got a caravan in Rill. But, you know, this is, it doesn't matter whether it's a heat or not, it's who he's winning against. He's winning at a major event against Higgins and Bishop, against the two Dan Holland karts. This is more significant than just a heat win. It's how he's done it, and it's who he's done it against. He's been overtaken, he's fought back, and as we go to take the checkered flag, Teddy Pritchard Williams, he doesn't just support Aston Villa, he is a race winner in the British Old Plate Championship. And that was a joke between me and him. He was like, mate, Henry, I want you to say something about me other than I support Aston Villa. Well, he's got his podium. He's got his podium in the last round of the British Championship last year, and now he is potentially on course for what would be the biggest win of his karting career.
Absolutely, really good stuff there from Teddy Pritchard Williams. Wins by 0.3 of a second from Matthew Higgins. Macaulay Bishop third, Jack Lilly fourth. Gustav Uzakov's in 5th place. Keane Geraghty fights back to 6th. Guy Cunnington continues that strong form from last week's club meetings, finishes P7. Top 10 completed by Rennie, Hayward and Clark. Rest of the order running through your screens there. All the details over on Motorsport-Timing. And crucially, how does that leave the intermediate classification? That's all 4 of the Senior Rotax heats complete. All drivers have raced twice. Going into the super heats tomorrow, remember these scores are carried over into the super heats tomorrow. Gilbert's on 0, Higgins a little bit further back because I've missed out Hunter, so it's Gilbert on 0, Hunter on 2, Higgins 4, McQueen 5. Those will be the front row sitters for the super heats tomorrow. Pending, of course, any post-race changes. We should state that at this period. Geraghty, Lilly, Harris and Graham all tied on 9 points, showing once again just how close it is in Senior Rotax. We saw it from the free practices earlier on this morning where we were talking about hundredths of a second between them. That is very much the case, Henry Beaudette. Lots to look forward to tomorrow for our oldest, most experienced drivers here this weekend at Whilton Mill.
Yes, and you know, it's always exciting. Yes, there have been live karting broadcasts from various countries, various clubs, but let's have one more look back at coming over that curve. Now, let's slow that down there. Completely, that's not AI, that's not sort of digital remastering, that's not photoshopping, that is drivers absolutely pushing the limits. And I'm wondering what's going to be the first nose cone penalty when that Kart lands. Is there going to be a front bumper bracket that breaks? But there we go. But, we'll find out about all that later on in the paddock show, about what the chassis are saying about that curb. But Nicole Sutherland is down with, I'm assuming, a very happy Aston Villa fan, Teddy Pritchard-Williams.
We're with senior Rotax driver number 5, Teddy Pritchard-Williams. Teddy, your first race win with new team Strawberry Racing. How's it going for you?
Yeah, really good. It's been a bit of an adaptation this weekend, but it's going well. I messed up the first heat, so we'll keep going from now on.
Yeah, and we also saw a bit of a climb up the standings today, 4th to 1st in that one.
Bit scrappy, and then hit second, and then a little battle with Matt, and then we drove away a little bit, so happy, really happy.
And we saw Matt was kind of hot on your heels towards the end. Were you getting a bit nervous, or?
Yeah, he's always wondering where they're going to go, so I knew where we was a little bit better and he was a little bit stronger than me, so it was just about managing that.
Fantastic. Good luck for the rest of your weekend.
Cheers,
Thank you. We'll go back up to the comms box, quick message from the sponsors, and then we'll be back for the next race of the day. Back here at Whilton Mill, getting ready for the next race, race 13, sorry, on our schedule. It's the A versus B heat for Minimax.
The penultimate. The penultimate race of the day, and on pole position it'll be Finley Lines with Edward Haynes starting alongside on row number 1. Luca Holmes-Pollock and Albert Friend needs a good result. He goes from grid 4. Blair Smith, Stonehouse Smith and Tom the Farmer Reed on row number 4. 3.
Ilya Veliko and Oliver Spencer go from row 4. Zach Starbuck and Finley Hines complete the top 10. Max Gilman and Otis Cleary start on row 6.
Joshua Griffin and Hasnain Khan are next. Jensen Chalk and Alex Goodson are on row number 8. Alfie Ward and Riley Burrow are next.
Row 10 is completed by Daniel Wisniauskas and Leo Livings. Daniel Minto and Blair Smith start on row 11. That's Privateer Blair Smith.
Coatbridge Smith.
Coatbridge Smith. Yep. Jensen Sale and Kieran Stewart on row 12.
Adam Churasek, Amrit Atwal, Akili Giannone and the rest are in the tram lines. Lights are not out, which is perfectly timed to give us a chance to mention that Ollie Thompson, David Heons, Max Wheatley and Maximilian Braxov are the remaining starters, just to give everybody their due. Let's have a little look. Yes, Hasnain Khan getting, Hasnain, there he is, Hasnain Khan, it was Hasnain Khan getting a lot of support online. Alfie Ward getting plenty of support as well. Not many takers for the question of the day. Who was going to win the final senior Rotax race? Well, everyone was obviously too engrossed and no one bothered to answer the live chat.
We're also still our suggestions for new names for the new corner.
Absolutely none, which is disgraceful. But then again, I said no swearing, and so that could have been. Reaction has been
no eligible contenders yet.
No eligible contenders yet. Are we going to get a good start this time around? Now, drivers who need a good result in this race. Albie Friend being one of them. After retirement from row number 2, Finley Lines can just control the pace from the front. Looking at it's a false start again. Looking at the intermediate classification, now we've got, that's not quite right, that's, I will not look at the intermediate classification because it's telling me porcupines. There is the green and yellow chevron flag, and held by one of the Orange Army, the most important people in all of racing. And I can understand why Wera decided to put a nice big sponsor logo on that Marshall poster. It's almost as though there's someone here to put the product placement in correct place.
Someone planning all this.
Almost like someone's planned the whole thing. Here we go. And again, whilst I'm on the topic, thanks to our other sponsors, Demon Tweaks as well. It's a handily placed banner. I wonder who put that there.
Beautifully laid out.
Yeah, and thanks to Dan Ashton, who's just handily placed there at the side of the circuit. And a cameraman, handily placed. That's John Ratcliffe.
That is John
That's
Ratcliffe.
John Ratcliffe holding a camera. Oh, right, well, now we know where to send the one junior driver that has got nothing else to race for. Just fire him off into that one.
Formation lap being completed then for the last time this afternoon for Minimax. All of these drivers have raced once already. This is their second heat for 8 minutes plus 1 lap. Are we going to be good for green on this one? Yes, we are. Away we go then. Good start for the Synergies on the inside there. Sweep immediately into first and second. Lines from Holmes Ballack up the hill now to Christmas Corner. We've seen action so far with drivers knowing it's their final heats. What are we going to see in this one? Good move round the outside there. That was Max Gilman for Thule Motorsport in number 69. It's very wide there. It's Ilya Veliko who's going to lose position after position after position and stop on driver's left. There's a spin as well for the number 71 of Maxi Braskov. Not the kind of start that Ilya Veliko would have wanted. He's gone all the way from row 4 to the back.
And while we watch the action unfold, great names. Because, of course, you've got the boot, and because the curb is so high, someone said on the live chat you should call it stiletto. Because you've got the boot, the high heel.
Yeah, stiletto has been a suggestion that I've heard around the paddock and the forums in the last few weeks. I think it's a solid one to start for 10.
Look at that, a Synergy 1, 2, 3. And as the number 42 Oliver Spencer moves up, but you know, imperfect Synergy at the front. Lines, Holmes Ballack and Stonehouse Blair Smith.
So good drivers as expected coming through to the 4. Who else is gaining through the field? Adam Turacek needs a good race in this one. Has gained 7 places so far. Is up to 18th. Up 4 spots. All of the following drivers. Alfie Ward 13th. Riley Morrow 14th. Daniel Minto 17th. As that's not penalty. Good news. 5-second penalty. In-race penalty for driver number 15. That's Max Wheatley.
Well, and Max, who started down at the back of the field, he's gained 5 places. He's gone from 30th up to 25th. Oh, there's a spin in progress. And I think, well, trying to check who that was next time around. Might have been Zach Starbuck, I think. Or was that? It wasn't Finley Hines. Was it? It might have been Finley Hines. We'll have a little look. Not Finley Hines, Finley Hines. Finley Hines is number 57.
Otis Cleary.
Oh, it was Otis Cleary. Yes, It was a Jack Dex racing kart that was spinning as just flashed across the screen. Yeah, the red, blue, and white of the Jack Dex racing team. Yeah, Finley Hines has gone for the number 57. Hines 57 varieties. That's very smart. Now, Albie Friend, 1, 2. He's still down in 5th position. So he's got a little bit of work to do. But again, this is a case of Albie's he's betting on himself to be good enough to gain enough places in the Super Heat tomorrow to make it into the main event.
And you've got to remember as well, those finals are longer.
Yeah, but he's not going all guns blazing. See, he's not diving at the inside every single chance he gets. He's sitting, he's got 5 minutes, he's thinking, okay, I'm 5th now, you know, looking at that, okay, Finley Lines is gone, but second is possible here if I play it right, if I just sit and play it right. And if I don't get second and I end up finishing 5th, that's still better than going for 4th, ending up having a crash and 24th and giving yourself a gargantuan task in the Super Heat to even get enough points to get it into the final. Number 13, Amrit Atwal. Unfortunately, in Kart, they don't give points and prizes out for being a nice person. Amrit Atwal, what a pleasant young man he is, but sadly, he is out of the race.
Yeah, and out of contention for the good places in this one. Fastest driver out there right now is down the inside. Haynes on Holmes Ballack, loving that. Beautiful move into Ashby. One of those that is so... looks so easy on screen. There's a yellow flag out. So I think that is going to be for Atwal in the number 13.
Yes.
He's patiently waiting off to driver's right. Good instructions there from the marshal. But love that from Edward Haynes. It's one of those that on camera just looks so easy. There's a big wide entry to the corner, but what you don't get is the drop that you get into Ashby. So easy to outbrake yourself. And for Haynes, that was absolutely spot on, is rewarded with second place.
So there is Blair Smith in the number 8 cart. He's now dropped back behind Albert Friend. There's the move from Friend. Now, this is exactly what we were talking about. Friend has now moved to 4th place. It's taken him 90 seconds since we last spoke about it. He's gained 1 place. Now he's going to lose it again. But is he defending? Is he coming across in like panic and desperation? No, he's not, because he knows that, you know, one false move from Albie, already the drivers around him, and it's curtains.
Yeah.
So he's just got to be very, very smart here. He moves in front of his teammate, Tom the Farmer Reed, who has got the fast lap of the race so far. And one thing we're going to do tonight, Andrew, is we're going to have a little look at the lap records, because I'm sure that come tomorrow morning there will be new lap record holders, and I'm sure that come the end of the day tomorrow there will be some lap records, should it be dry. Fingers crossed, touch wood and all that. That we'll have some lap records that stay around for some time, such as the competitive nature of this event.
Indeed. Well, not a best lap last time around for Edward Haynes. He's fallen down to 5th place. So it's Oliver Spencer who's come to the front of this battle for second place, going through these tricky 2 left-handers. Wilkins, then Oziers. Luke Holmes-Ballock there, second in line, 3rd overall. Blair Smith having another strong run here. Intermediate classification situation with 2.25 minutes to go. So this result would give Finlay Lyons pole position for one of the super heats tomorrow. Haynes would be 2nd in the IC. Holmes-Ballock 3rd. Smith, Reed, Spencer, Starbuck and Collinson all inside the top 8. There's a lot to be decided here. Remember, it's 2 points for finishing 2nd, 3rd. 3 points as here comes Holmes-Ballock down the inside. That's ambitious, very ambitious, but somehow has worked for Smith and Haynes. Oliver Spencer did very well as Adam Turacek retires. Adam Turacek out of the race in 30th place. I'm flabbergasted, Henry, at how those 3 drivers still pointing in the right direction off of Christmas Corner.
Blair Smith may be from Stonehouse, but he has, I'll say, nerves of steel, because that was a brave move. There was a whisker between like disaster and what we saw, which was everyone getting round cleanly. Excellent stuff, I've got to say. And it does mean that Finlay Lyons just romping away to what will be, I am sure, an impressive victory. Now, looking back, Albert Friend has dropped to 7th in the number 91 Strawberry Racing Kart. And I'm looking at it, it's not as though the can I see Paul Spencer at the window? Is he going to punch me later on? The whole Strawberry team in Minimax they're missing something. They missed a bit. They're not, there's Tom Reed. They call him the farmer. He was doing a bit of lawn mowing there. But yeah, and sometimes this happens. I'm sure Mark Baines will tell us all about it, and Nathan Rawlings will tell us all about it later on. But however, you know, such is the competitive nature of this event. With so many good teams, you miss it by a fraction and you could be nowhere. This is why the mechanics, the teams, this is why they spend so much time, so much money, so much effort, because they have to be inch perfect every time they hit the track. Because if they're not inch perfect, 10 of the people are, and 10 of the people will beat them.
Absolutely. 5-second penalty for the number 5 of Joshua Griffin. Tough race for Griffin so far. Is currently 10th place on the road. Edward Haynes trying to hold in there ahead of Blair Smith. This is for 3rd place going into the boot at this moment. Time is up. Spencer looking down the inside of Blair Smith as well. Wrestles his way in there. Gets a position. All over the curb is Albie Friend. Is Albie Friend going to have a good run here into turn 1? No. Thinks better of it. Just holds off. Finlay Lyons, what a performance. Well, we saw this earlier in the day, didn't we, Henry? Yep. That he won by 5 seconds. He could be on to do it again here in the final heat of the day for Minimax.
But the question of who's going to be second will not be answered until the very last corner. Oh, and there's side by side, up and under. There goes Oliver Spencer. Luca Holmes-Ballock and Edward Haynes drove each other very deep into Ashby's, and Oliver Spencer thought, I'm going to take a wide line in, cut underneath the pair of you coming out, and Spencer looking over his shoulder, he should be able to hold on from this point. because you can't be going lunging up the inside into this corner anymore, because there's this corner right there, and that is single file all the way home. Spencer takes second, but Spencer takes seconds a long, long way behind your race winner, Finley Lines, on a Birrell ART for the Synergy Factory team. Well, of course, it's a Synergy chassis. It's now been homologated as a Birrell ART. Hello to Synergy's own Gary Byatt, by the way.
Very happy indeed with that one. Finley Lines then silences the rest of the order. 2 wins from 2, 0 points in the intermediate classification. On top at the end of Saturday, we'll see Minimax kick off the Super Heats tomorrow after a couple more heats for Micromax and Honda Cadet. But Super Heats A will go from 10:45 on Sunday morning on finals day. Oliver Spencer P2 in that one elevates himself to 6th place in the IC. 3rd for Luca Holmes-Ballack, who can be happy with the day's work, will be in the top 3 in that IC. Edward Haynes, Blair Smith, all in the top 5. Starbuck, Friend, Reed, Griffin and Hines all in the top 10 on the road. Remember, that is before +5 in second in race penalties. In terms of the IC, the fuller picture of it, as mentioned, Lines on top on 0. 4 points for Haynes, so a good run there for Edward Haynes to 2nd place in the standings today. Luca Holmes-Ballack, as mentioned, 3rd on 5 points. Blair Smith 4th on 8. A tie at the moment for 5th place, which will be separated per procedures in due course, of course, between Reed and Spencer, both on 10. Starbuck 7th on 12, and Collinson, who raced earlier, of course, finishes on 13. Remember, all of those points from the 2 races for each driver today get carried over into the Super Heats tomorrow, and it'll be pretty much the same story, but over a slightly longer race, 10 minutes plus 1 lap for the Super Heats tomorrow, and double points as well. So, for example, if you finish in P2, as opposed to where you get 2 points today, you get 4 tomorrow, and so on and so forth. We'll keep you up to date with all of that. One more race to go here today at Whilton Mill. Do very much hope you've enjoyed today's broadcast, and we're going to head down to Parc Fermé and have another chat with Nicole Sutherland.
So we're with 2023 Micromax O-Plate champion, Ollie. How's your day been so far?
Good. The first heat wasn't too bad. We come 8th, had a little incident, and then that one was obviously good. We come 2nd, so yeah.
And O-Plate win, do you think you can do it again this year?
100%. Yeah, totally.
That's great. Thanks, Ollie. We'll go back up to the comms box now.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Getting ready for the final race of the day. It's race 14, heat number 5 for junior Rotax. Harrison Whitcomb has pole position. Jacob Ashcroft alongside on the front row, and looking to continue the good form we had earlier. Harry Freeman and Jacob Jukes on row 2. We are, in my ear, hearing we're going to go around again on this one.
Yes.
Joshua Turnbull and William Antrobus on row 3.
Such a shame for Harrison Whitcomb to be out of the beat. So I don't know if you heard there, but
so Whitcomb won't be starting.
Crowther, Manji, Woods, West, McDonald and Chandaria, Truman, Baden, Hasty and the rest. 26 carts, 8 minutes plus 1 lap for the final time today. We're off and racing.
We are indeed 8 minutes on the board. Also not taking the start, Harrison Crowther and Eli Baden, per the information that we've got here in the box. In fact, no, correct that. I think Baden is in the race. 3 wide into, that's the number 25 of Luca Magni going down the order a bit. Keeps himself in the race, but 3 wide is round. Goes to number 19 in the middle of the park. Jack Collinson has that spin. That is not what he would have wanted at all, and that is, once again, you can tell it's the last heats for the juniors. All of them know what the situations are. It's off the road, way off the road, is Michael Walker in the Jack Dex racing machine. It's frantic out there as drivers are scrabbling for those points and positions on the grid in those super heats tomorrow.
Now, of course, I'm not sure if I had to pop out of the commentary box momentarily. So I'm not sure if you were able to explain to the viewers why Harrison Whitcomb is not out there.
No, it's a new story to us.
So, unfortunately, because we have Park Ferme tyres, and at the end of the last race, Harrison and all his, wandered out of the pits pushing his cart with the tyres on. Realised the error of his way, turned round, go, oh shit, sorry, and words to that effect in Welsh, and they went, I'm very sorry, but no, that's it. So, unfortunately, Harrison cannot race on those tyres. He's only got the one set of slick tyres
remaining,
so he cannot race with those tyres. If it rains tomorrow, he can go out. If it doesn't, sadly, and apologies for the somewhat industrial language I used, I was merely reflecting Harrison's reaction on the spot. It was verbatim, but I do apologise if anyone was easily offended, because I know that in karting there's never any bad words ever said. But yes, that is why Harrison Whitcomb sadly is not out there. I'm not sure if why Harrison Crowther is not out there either. But yes, so Harrison Whitcomb will be doing a rain dance tonight.
Harry Hurst-Grover also not in this race at the moment. 5 minutes and 45 remaining. Jacob Ashcroft in control at the moment. So this result as it would be right now, still very long way to go in this one, of course, would leave 2 drivers on 0 points. At the end of the day for the IC. Now that is because we've got 5 groups.
Yes.
And only everybody races twice, so there is that possibility
not
of
doing
2
a full
drivers.
round robin, like you would expect them to do a full round robin, but we're not. So
you can have 2 unbeaten drivers at the end of
end of the and then the tiebreak would come down to who had the best timed qualifying effort. Look at this battle, and it almost went terribly wrong. That's the number 27 of Connor Winfield. No, sorry, I'm busy looking at the wrong entry list. I got so excited by apologising for saying my first ever naughty word, apart from when I got electrocuted live on air at Kartmasters 1 year ago. In 2017. There is a clip out there which I urge you not to look at. But anyway, it was the number 27 of I've lost a piece of paper.
Joshua Turnbull.
That's the one you said it a million times, Andrew.
New fastest lap of the race. Noah Barham, 47.01.
Look at that.
Where is Barham
That's
at the
art.
moment?
That's just art. Look at that. The hue of the early evening sun. Karts emerging. The dappled sunlight over the top of the crash helmets, and a lunge by the number 28 of Brian Truman, and he's going to get lunged back.
Is indeed, and loses that position once more. I feel it needs like some Top Gun music play. That's what they do when the Formula One's at Circuit of the Americas at this time of day, don't they? Side by side booth. That's a bold one once again from Joshua Turnbull, fighting back ahead of Brandon Truman, the number 9 of Leon Hesty coming in. Leon's had a quiet weekend so far. This is the first time we really talked about him up at the higher reaches in P6.
At the end of his first heat, he was the driver he didn't even want to sit in his go-kart as he came to the telephone of doom. He got out of his car and just pushed it along, which tells me that he wasn't happy with Wagon. Now he is happier with Wagon, I think it's safe to say.
Plus 5 second penalty has just come up on our board. On the timing for number 26 of Michael Dalton. So that'll be a demotion down the order for anyone who finishes within 5 seconds of the number 26. Jacob Ashcroft. It's easy to forget, Henry, that this is his first, at this level, at Vera Tool's British Kart Championships level. I know he was here last weekend for the club meeting.
Yes.
His first. That is a bit of a situation for the number 55. Was that Eli Baden? And another car was in there. It might have been the number 65 of Jack Thompson, who's cascading down the order.
It was. It was the Hunter Motorsport kart of Thompson. And
Eli Baden, the number 55.
Now, I couldn't quite see where that was.
Was that on the entry to the pit lane area?
Well, I mean, obviously the race is still green, so going into the boot. Somebody on the live chat has said about calling it Bevel Bend. No, you should call it the Breville, because if you hit it wrong, you are toast.
We're here all weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. My work here is done. 2 minutes to go. Jacob Ashcroft leading Jacob Jukes by 1.76 seconds.
And doing a very good job indeed. Moved down the inside through Christmas. That's Brandon Truman. Every time we see Brandon Truman,
he's getting his money's worth.
He's overtaking or being overtaken as down the inside goes Jack West there. Jack Baker's going to take advantage of that and get both of them. I think Noah Barham skipped through as well, is up to 8th place. Ashby Corner looking difficult. Well, that's good to see. Eli Baden is back in the kart and able to pilot it back under his own steam, but not what he would have wanted. That's going to be P23 for Eli there in the KMS.
Well, Ashcroft, he's extending his advantage over Jukes as in the early evening sunshine here on Easter weekend. And it's been a fantastic day of racing. Of course, we've got all the super heats, the final tomorrow. For those of you that have been triggered on the live chat by the stories and the somewhat, off-the-cuff remarks, this is our opportunity. We don't normally get this opportunity to give you some of the drivers' backstories. There are 220 drivers here from all over the world. They've all got interesting, unique stories, families, teams, and this is our chance to introduce you because, these drivers, they need support. They need sponsors, they need fan clubs, they need people who to invest in them, not monetarily, but invest and become fans of theirs. The only way that you become a fan of a driver is if you get to know them and know their story. Tomorrow, it will be all about the racing, as there is a move. The number 22 of Noah Barham picks up a position and passes Shane Chandari, who's doing very well, the Kenyan driver, in 8th place. But the addition of an extra days of broadcasting, yes, we can bring you all the action and the racing, the interviews and all that, but it does give us a chance to tell you some of the stories that you don't get a chance to tell when you've just got one day of broadcasting and it's all finals. So, this is the new program this year. Saturdays, heat races, there'll be lots of action, but also a chance for us to, to introduce you, the public, the viewers, to all these wonderful young men and women who are in this sport and in this championship.
Absolutely. There's a technical flag out there. Unfortunately, it's for the number 65 of Jack Thompson. So that is an early end to the race for the Hunter Motorsport number 65, which I think is already headed into pits anyway.
He was the last kart running. But that's very good because he was the kart that was underneath Eli Baden.
Yes, correct.
So we were a bit worried about if he was okay. Yes, he was absolutely fine because he was able to carry on driving his go-kart. The wagon was not as okay. No. And here we go. Have we got a back? Oh, this is Turnbull and Hasty again. Well, I've got to say, Turnbull and Turnbull and Truman have got their money's worth in this race. They've been all over the place, right in the thick of the action. Oh, there's the number 52 out of the race, Jack Baker for the Evolution Racing team. It has cried enough.
And was running in the top 10 as well, was Jack Baker. So that is a cruel loss of position right at the end of this race. We're on the final lap of the final heat of the day. 2 more tomorrow, by the way, just to remind you. Micromax and Honda Cadet will be out first, but there's a good side-by-side battle here. Hasty trying to go round the outside through Wilkins there. That's never going to work on Joshua Turnbull, but you've got to give him credit for trying. What a day for Jacob Ashcroft, stepping up to Junior Rotax and taking 2 wins from 2. 2.5 seconds the advantage for Ashcroft over the rest of the order. William Antrobus finishes P2. Jacob Jukes in P3. Joshua Turnbull wins out in that battle for P4 ahead of Leon Hasty. A great drive from Leon up to 5th place and 15th on the grid.
And do you know something? Barry Ashcroft, he is such a great guy. Not only did he say if Jacob Ashcroft took a lap record, he'd give him £100. He said if he won both his heat races, he would buy him a brand new crash helmet. What a guy.
What a guy indeed. 6th place for Harry Freeman. 7th for Noah Barham. 8th for Jack West. Brando Truman and Luca Magni inside the top 10. Zach McDonald, who hopefully we'll be hearing from across the course of the season as well.
Yes.
Here in the British Kart Championships. He's after both of our job. Henry there in P11. Benjamin Baker P12. Up 14 spots. What a drive there from Benjamin Baker. Yep. Michael Dalton 13th, also in double figures of positions gained. Top 15 completed by Michael Walker and Kai Veach. How does that leave the intermediate classification? That is all the heats, all the 8 minute plus 1 lap heats done for Junior Rotax. We'll see them out At what time? 11:25 for Superheat A, 11:45 for Superheat B. Spearing and Ashcroft 0 apiece.
Spearing was quicker in qualifying, therefore would take the tiebreaker.
Does indeed. Goff third on 2. Bartle fourth on 4. Antrobus fifth on 5. Jukes and Turnbull next up on 7 and 8 respectively, 6th and 7th, and then Freeman completing the top 8 on 9. It's going to be one to watch, still very much all to play for in Junior Rotax. As we mentioned, those 2 super heats will have the scores from today carried over. Super heats will happen, points from them will be applied, and then it's the top 34 who continue on to the final tomorrow to see who is going to succeed Macaulay Bishop as this year's Rotax, Junior Rotax O-Plate champion.
Well, whoever it is, Andrew, it will be richly deserved. In fact, whichever 5 drivers eventually leave this weekend wearing the O-Plate, and of course the O-Plate means that in that class you can run the 0 for the next 12 months. Whoever wins the Senior Rotax O-Plate can run it from April the 1st, Monday this year, until the start of until the end of next year's O-Plate, if it's at the same weekend. It's for a full 12 months. From O-Plate to O-Plate, you get to run that. You're the only driver in the country that can run with the 0 on your kart in that class. And breathe. What a day.
What a day.
It's not over yet either, though, is it? Because we've still got, Nicole Sutherland has been down in the pit lane, but we've still got a paddock show to do.
Got a paddock show to do, which we'll be able to see on the channels later on. We had a good one yesterday. I caused chaos running around.
Excellent.
There were team members nearly tripping over themselves to try not to get into shot. It was fantastic fun, and we talked about some teams and some drivers as well at the same time.
And when it comes to causing chaos in the paddock, watch and learn from later on. Okay, for the final time today, part of the paddock show, Nicole Sutherland is down in the pit lane speaking to some of the contenders from that excellent last race. Take it away, Nicole.
So, Jacob, 2 for 2 for you this afternoon. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great after 2 wins.
So obviously, sorry, comms in my ear just. So 2 for 2, great results. Like you just said, you're feeling great. Have you been doing anything off of the track to get you into that mindset of being really strong?
Yeah, I've just been chilling out. I've been talking to people of places where I can improve on the track, and I've been doing that and now won both my races.
That's fantastic. Very best of luck to you for the rest of the weekend, Jacob. So we'll wrap up the racing for this afternoon. Tomorrow, definitely going to be an exciting one, and we'll head back up to Andrew and Henry to round off today's stream.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Brilliant work down there
yes.
On your first day working in the paddock there in a media form for the Wera Tools British Kart Championships. That is it for us here today. Henry, before we go and do the paddock show as well, final thoughts?
Extremely competitive. The verdict is, I think that the new corner, we've seen less accidents. The accidents we have seen have been at different places at slower speeds. Overtaking-wise, I do think it makes overtaking harder. Mm-hmm. That simply means that the drivers and the teams have to then adjust their tactics and maybe even adjust the setup. And instead of that last complex being a key area they set the kart up for, they're going to have to look at other areas now to refigure out the way to drive this circuit. You've only changed one corner, but the impact that has means that you have to reset your thinking of the whole way around this circuit. I think a couple of drivers looking like they got a little bit of ring rust, and I'm sure that that things will smooth out, smooth themselves out as the weekend progresses. But overall, 220 drivers, 202 in the 4 Rotax classes. That's excellent. And good to see Honda Cadet growing compared to last year. And there are lots of Hondas out there because I was with a full grid of them last weekend. So the future is bright, about as bright as that sunset, which is lovely.
Absolutely. We're back tomorrow for finals day, and it all kicks off just after 10 o'clock here for your live broadcast. We'll have 2 more of the heats. Micromax and Honda Cadets have their second 8-minute plus 1 lap heat going from 10:15 for Micromax, 10:30 for Honda Cadet. Don't forget, clocks go forward tonight, so that's on British summertime, those timings. And then we kick into the superheats for all of our classes from 10:45. Finals go from 2 o'clock here. The top 34 in all 5 categories will race in them for 12 minutes plus 1 lap to decide who will be the champions at the 2024 British Open Championship. Thank you very much for being with us. Myself, Andrew Mather and Henry Beaudette alongside me. Have a lovely evening, and we'll see you bright and early here from Whilton Mill tomorrow morning for the heats and superheats. Bye-bye.